Hey everybody, welcome back to the Pylon Show. This is episode number 66, and it is going to be a special one. I'm very excited about this lineup that we have here today. Let me quickly, though, talk about how you can support the show if you like the Pylon Show. Check out our Patreon. That is our main way, patreon.com/The Pylon Show. And you can ask us questions. You can get early access to the VODs and all that stuff. It's really what keeps the show going and allows us to pay our guests and everything like that. So thank you to everyone who supports. And of course, we have thepylonshow.com for all your Pylon Show needs. We also have a forum going up right now. It's in the beta stages. If you're a Patreon supporter, check it out. You have access. Okay, so moving on. This show today, we have a lot of exciting things to talk about, especially GSL versus the world. But let me introduce our guests here. First up, we have coming once again. I couldn't get enough of you last week after your perfect prediction of the finals. Rapid, how are you?
What can I say? I'd like to thank the Academy, everybody else for believing in me, but mostly myself for believing in me when all of you guys thought I was wrong. I saw some mean comments in the Pylon Show chat about my prediction, Artosis. And I'd just like to tell all of those people that I love them in spite of themselves. So yeah, it's good to be back. Thanks for having me, Dan.
Yes, thank you for coming. We also have an amazing up-and-coming pro gamer, and Estrella. You have been killing it. You're going to the Australian tournament because you won the NA qual. You almost made it into GSL Super Tournament. You're having a great time. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming back. We had you once before quite some time ago, but you've been in Korea for a long time. So excited to have you back and have your new perspective on everything. And of course, once again on the show, a very frequent guest, No Regret. What's up?
Not much. What's up?
Okay. Thanks. And then, last but certainly not least, this is kind of a funny thing. I messaged Special and asked him, hey, can you come on this show, talk about Super Tournament, talk about what Rogue said in the interview and the balance of the game and all these things? And he was like, you know what? I don't think I can wake up in time for it. I'm like, all right, that's fine. I get that answer a lot from pro gamers and occasionally a commentator in Korea. And then this morning, he texted me. He said, I accidentally woke up. I can come on the show. Special, how are you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Thank you for having me. And I'm going to be here to make sure those peacekeepers and Zergs don't get away with their bullshit, man.
That's right. Very oftentimes joining us from the peanut gallery that is the chat and correcting what people say on the show. I'm excited to hear what you have to say today. So, yeah, it's going to be a fun episode. We're going to start with This Week in StarCraft. We're going to go into GSL Super Tournament, which will include who is going to qualify for Blizzcon or who can qualify for Blizzcon. We're going to really deeply review those brackets and try to figure out what's going to be going down there because it is the final big tournament of the year for Korea. And then we'll be going into the GSL Finals / Rogue interview, where he, in fact, said that Rogue said that Zerg is overpowered. We'll be talking about that a little bit. And then, of course, at the end, all the Patreon questions. So, without further ado, let's go into This Week in StarCraft. Get this started. Of course, if you hear about anything in This Week in StarCraft that you're interested in, check out our show notes. They're everywhere. I say that every week. It's serious. It's real. We keep all of these online for you, so you can always check it out. And if you have stuff going on within StarCraft that you'd like us to talk about, send it in. Send it to Alessander or the Pylon Show Discord or Cobra or the Pylon Show Twitter. I don't know. There's some way to get it there. Okay. So, the Huracan Legacy Weekly Japan number 187 prospect looks like HTT Hanmono 2-1 over Kaiman 3. Yeah. I'm sure you know something about this, Rapid. What's going on here?
Yeah, so HTT is Hokago T team. If you know the Bulgarian player Nidix, he used to be on this team too. And Huracan puts on a tournament every week for Japanese players, but then this is the, what's the name of this tournament? It's like
Legacy Weekly Japan.
Yeah, but there's a word after it. It's like the runner, it's like the apprentice version of that. It's not the actual main tournament. This is the sort of the tournament to get into that tournament. And anyway, so they let this guy enter the tournament. His name is Han Mono, but he's actually Korean. So needless to say, the Korean enters the tournament, 2-0s slaps everybody, and then wins it. So I was like, wow, I'm excited to watch my favorite Japanese StarCraft, and a Korean player just like kills them all. I'm just like, oh, okay, well this is not what I signed up for. So yeah, sick, killing it, Hanmono.
Well, thank you for that little overview right there, Rapid. I think you have more hours in the day than anyone I've ever met. Okay.
I watch it while I sleep.
Yeah.
Wait, so was he eligible? Does he speak Japanese or live in Japan?
I don't know actually what his deal is. I know nothing about him other than watching him kill the poor up-and-coming Japanese player.
How did you know he was Korean then?
Because it says so on the Wikipedia article for Hokago T-Team.
Gotcha. All right. Thank you for that little update right there. All right, the Blazing Series Reality Season 1. Haas has defeated Silky 2-0. Nice has defeated Strike 2-0. Go Joey defeated Winner 2-0. And Rex defeated Lemon 2-0. Because they don't do cowardly predictions like Rapid likes.
Nice.
That's the round robin stages. Season 1 is running through November 23rd. So check it out on africatv.com/AFTWSC2. Sentimiento Latino tournament. We had Ryu defeat Terran 3-2 in the finals. That was number 71, and that is for the second week in a row. Number 72 going to be playing 2 days from now. So if you want to play, definitely check it out. Not you, though, Special. You're not allowed in this one.
Why? Why not? I should be allowed.
Yeah, no, they don't let you, Kelliger, or Cham into this. It's very, very specific on that. So just want you to know. Don't sign up. Imba Force League. This is the Peruvian league that goes on, which Ryu isn't allowed to play in. He's too busy winning the Sentimiento Latino tournament. It looks like Shelby won 3-1 over Demega in the grand finals. The SC2, yes, Demega. SC2 Royal. Raise Your Edge Gaming is proud to announce their newest edition of the Royal Tournament Series. And their first event in StarCraft 2, the StarCraft 2 Royal. Prize pool of 1,200 euros. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's actually really cool. Raise Your Edge is one of the biggest poker websites out there. So they've been huge in poker.
Oh,
they have,
really?
I think the number 2 best poker training program, whatever. You can get classes on their website. And so now they've launched Raise Your Edge Gaming, which is, dude, this is the weirdest thing. So basically they're just like, hey, we want to get into gaming. So they make this whole gaming website. They sponsor all these players. They sponsor an Unreal Tournament player, okay? I don't know how they get these people, but
that's awesome.
More power to them for putting 1,000 euros into StarCraft. I think it's really awesome. And it's done by this awesome German guy that casts most of it. So pretty big fan.
Which Unreal Tournament? Do you know?
It just says UT.
Okay.
It's like a female FPS player who mostly plays Quake, but there's some UT in there too.
Oh, that's great. Well, it looks like Big Gabe won 4-1 over Clem in the finals. A TVT finals. What do you say about that, Special?
Well,
seems like Terran's pretty strong right now.
Fucking European Zerg and Protoss are complete shit compared to only 2 people are good from that region. So that's why.
Ooh, all right. This is going to be a great show. Congrats to Big Gabe, bigger than pictured on that screen there. All right, WESG qualifiers continue. We've been going over this. It looks like the Indonesian qualifiers are over, and Quantel has advanced from there. I've definitely seen him before, so congrats to him. Still waiting on the Vietnamese tournament. That's this weekend, as well as the Singaporean tournament. As far as the Chinese qualifiers go, that is still undergoing. We don't have any updates since last week. We have 4 players already qualified for the main event. Still waiting on the Western and Southern qualifiers, which are going to take place at some point during October. All right, the Nation Wars 2019 qualifiers. The qualifying round is done. So we see that Team Canada 4-0 over Czech Republic. You want to tell us anything about that series there, Mr. No Regret?
Wait, why? What? What do you want me to say?
Did you play? You're on Team Canada. I mean, Jesus, what do I have to tell you?
I mean, yeah, I played. I'm on Team Canada. We just bopped them. I don't know. There wasn't much going on. It was 4 Zergs, and they died.
There you go.
4 Zerg players from Czech Republic.
Wait.
There's only one
they
player
didn't
that we know.
win the game? Wait, explain that to me. How does that happen?
It's the ZVZ, so you know.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyways, we were a little worried about Riddler because we're not 100% sure about him, but we only really knew one person from the team, so it wasn't too scary.
Alrighty. Well, it looks like most of the matches were pretty one-sided. Had a couple 4-2s and a single 4-3 with Hong Kong over Switzerland in there. They had a lot of casting going on all over the place. Just so many matches. Look at that, 16 matches through the qualifiers. But that brings us to the real group stage. And look at these groups. Oh my God. I am looking specifically at Group F right here. Mexico versus Canada. No regret. If you have to play against Special, how's that going to go down?
I'm going to make a lot of infestors and broodlords. I've heard that that's the best way to beat Terran.
Yeah? Is that true, Juan?
No, you actually need to be able to get there, so it's going to be a problem.
I'll make Lings and Banelings and then infestors and broodlords.
There we go.
So it looks like the round of 24 groups were drawn randomly. You can definitely check out more about the Nation Wars at nationwars.tv. We'll be going into more depth in that in the following weeks as the tournament picks up steam. You know, obviously the qualifier round's hard to keep track of all that and a lot of one-sided matches, but this is where it's going to get real good. Yeah, some very interesting groups in there, actually. Look at that, Poland, Sweden, Russia. That's really cool.
Like two people advance per group, so it's not that, it's not that surprising.
I mean, I thought for randomly drawn groups, it's not that bad, Yeah. Like it feels pretty balanced.
I don't think it's random. They were seeded.
It feels like that's seeded to me.
Yeah, so they seeded one of the teams per group.
That's right.
From last year, and then they randomly put the rest of the teams in there. So each group has like the top team in the group was seeded, and then the rest of the teams, I think, were random. I'm not totally sure. Maybe they seeded the top two. I don't know, but it was partially.
I'm pretty sure everything is seeded, but I'm not sure.
Look at Group C and Group D.
Yeah, I think
Italy,
Group
France,
C is
Norway, and
my
Germany,
vote
Netherlands. Ooh.
for the group of death for sure.
Yeah, but it's based on
Group C
WCS
has to
points,
be,
as far as I know.
Wait, who's from Norway? We got Snoot, and is that it?
Snoot Plus.
Snoot Plus, okay. And Italy, we've got...
Norway is just Finland Junior, okay?
Italy is also Finland Junior, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess so. If Big Gabe is playing on Germany, I guess so.
Oh yeah. It's where does his true allegiance lie? I think he's on Germany. Now.
What team is Risky playing on is what I really want to know. All right. So definitely check that out, nationwars.tv. And do not forget, Nation Wars is doing a gigantic promotion with Matcherino. And you can check that out. We have the links in there, all sorts of in-game sprays, in-game portraits, more in-game sprays, and more in-game portraits. There is a lot of them, 32 different nation portraits. They have all sorts of swag and gear that you can check out on matcherino.com. Of course, we also have our matcherino.com/the Pylon Show, which you can use the code word pumpkin on. Pumpkin. Is it Pumpkin Week, Matt? What's
National Pumpkin Day?
It makes sense because Halloween's coming up. All right.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna go down there and to Starbucks and get one later, and looks delicious. All right, that is it for Nation Wars. Definitely check it out. Again, we will cover that more going forward. All right, the Chinese Team Championship League for 2019. Team LP defeats Brave Star Gaming 4-3, and Jin Air defeats Invictus 5-1. It just continues forward. The offline playing is in 10 days, I guess a week actually. It starts. And that's going to be big. Huh?
There's a match in 2 days, so we play against Jenner in 2 days to see who goes to the playoff in final.
Oh damn!
Can we actually advance?
Who's on your team? Zest and
Tudming.
And Tudming.
Yeah.
Well, does he still make lots of lings?
Yeah, but it works. He wins. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, good luck in that. We'll see who ends up making it to that grand finals. And check out the stream on Wardy's Twitch channel. All right, the Golden Weekly Sub League Weekly Open. Looks like Time wins the third round of the Gold Sub League 4-1 against EF. Congrats to him. The NetEase at Esports X Tournaments 2019 Autumn Finals. Who ended up winning? It looks like Bravestar, TS Gaming, Ocean Gaming, and Newbie. Oh, congrats there, Special. What is it like being on these Chinese teams? Seems like you have a lot more matches nowadays.
It's okay. They pay in time, so it's all good.
All right, that is important. You can definitely check that out over on the billybilly.com. As Rapid was telling us last week, it is quality streaming service, even if you don't live there. And of course, Crank's channel has it as well.
Oh, I love Crank. So fun.
Yeah, Crank's great. All right, the Olima League monthly finals for September occurred. Cure defeated Impact 4-1 in those finals.
Another Terran.
Dude, Cure bopped everybody that tournament. It was...
Yeah.
Cure's good, man.
Do Terrans ever not win tournaments?
I wish we had time to watch the games. You will see the worst Ravager Olina ever seen in my entire life.
Well, yeah, he was against Impact, so I already knew that. I mean, come on. You have anything else for me there?
No, like the build was good. Just the execution was fucking bad, man. I want to puke.
Thank you. Thank
Where
you
was
much.
Dream? Why didn't Dream play? Is he letting all the other pro gamers
This
take a break?
is the monthly finals, so
Monthly finals, yeah.
you gotta accrue points to be able
Next
to play.
month.
Didn't he
Next
win?
month.
Oh, it was just for a different.
Oh,
month.
maybe he was busy then. I'm not sure. Anyways, if you want to check that out, it is Maynard Cassett on his Twitch channel, and of course, you can support Olima League on Patreon for a great replay pack each week. All right, the OSC Melee, we had Cham 3-0 over Puck in that finals. Okay, moving forward, you can check that out. Of course, Colt Terran casted that, and you can check it out on the OSC Esports Challenge. All right, the CEA, Corporate Esports Association Season 2. This is for companies that want to put together teams. They are continuing forward with their tournament, their league. And you can check it out on cea.gg. Right, the Master Swan Open / Sea Duckling Open. Looks like Xenoblaze took out S Rever 3-2 in that finals. Do you guys see this bracket? Do you see something wrong with it?
There's one color missing.
Yeah, there's literally not even a single Protoss player there. That's wild, because this is not even a professional tournament. This is the lower level, so you'd think you'd see more Protosses.
Well, why is the guy from France? Isn't this Z tournament?
No, it's
no. This is just a regular anyone tournament.
It's
okay.
Sea Duckling Open. So the name of it's Sea Duckling, not like SEA, like the region. It's like a duckling that lives in the ocean because
I see.
yeah,
Do ducklings live in the ocean?
they do
No.
not.
They do
It's a
not.
dangerous place.
No.
That was very factual. We got a duck scientist on our hands over here.
That's true. That's true. Having put many a duck in many an ocean, I can confirm they don't make it.
They don't like it.
No.
All right, the Grand Platypus Open. Now this one is for that C region. It looks like Demi took down Azure 3-1 in the finals. Congrats to him. You can check out all the Cranky Duckling stuff on twitch.tv/cranky_ducklings. The Owl Die, which is cast each week by Grant on his Twitch channel, Grant SC2, is a Vietnamese only player tournament. Looks like Upley beat Louis Solo.
Is that how you say it? I always said you play.
It's Upley for sure.
I've been
It's
wrong
100%.
my entire life.
I don't know. He
no,
also says GG Emini, so I mean, who
yeah.
knows?
Well, I read this whenever I see like a regular word with ly on the end. I'm like, okay, maybe he's Vietnamese, but he lives in San Francisco.
Okay.
Because if you live in San Francisco, the only thing that you do is make stupid apps no one wants and put ly on the end of regular words. That's how you do it, guys. You want to be a fucking billionaire? Just take a regular word and put ly on the end.
Well, like
All right.
you're growing on me here, Dan, because like now that I think about it, if I want to describe which direction I'm walking, I could go right, left, or I could move Upley. So that's probably his name.
There you go. Okay, that's to Upley. Number 10 is going to play in 3 days. The Vietnam Team League. Okay, Dirty Cheesers and Hong Kong All-Stars lead the standings. So even though it's called the Vietnam Team League, it's not just Vietnamese players. It's players from all over the Southeast Asian region. Very cool. It looks like English coverage will be by the Cranky Ducklings, so you can check it out on their channel.
Yeah.
All right, NA Apprentice 6. Looks like you're invited there, Estrella. Good work.
Yep. I did it.
Yay.
We made it, boys.
The qualifiers have ended. The group stage is going to Be ending in about a week with the round of 12 starting in October 11th through 13th. Check it out on Colt Terran's Twitch. Bonjour Fight Club 2. Looks like Showtime awaits someone in the finals. Have a few more matches coming up. Thermal versus Inertio. Special, you're playing against Bly. How do you feel about that?
Easy.
Easy? Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for that input. And Hero Marine against Drogo. I guess we'll see who makes it to the end there. It's on twitch.tv/Bonjour. All right, the Bulgarian StarCraft League, Sarevets, Fall 2019. We are in the group stage, and it looks like in 2 days it starts, and in about 10 days it will be ending. So that is something that you can watch over on their Bulgarian StarCraft League Twitch channel. All right, StarCraft Sundays, week 7 of 8. Bly defeated Gerald 3-2 in the finals. But easy, says Special. The English stream is over on Wardy's. Did they cancel this tournament, by the way? I saw Wardy tweeting about it.
Cancel.
Yeah, they just can't. Well, so this is the last season of it. So they finish the season and then it's done because nobody signed up.
Whoa.
Well, it looks like people.
Do we have to go into this again?
Yeah, I did some bullshit.
Oh, God.
Oh, I don't know what's going on, but please.
I love when people cancel their tournaments because not enough people signed up.
Yeah, that's
like, oh, God.
There's an interesting discussion, which is, I believe, 85 comments long on Wardy's tweet about this, where people are trying to place the blame on either the players or the viewers or the people putting money into the tournament. We can't quite figure out who's to blame, but we're pretty sure that it's out there. And the only way we can find out who to blame is by talking about it on social media. But we're still working on that.
Yeah, Cat's had some stats of like if everyone had an equal opportunity to win the tournament, and we played it out, it was something like $1.19 per player for an hour or something.
Yeah,
like,
that's assuming equal opportunity. Yeah.
Well,
it's not always worth it for everyone to play, your $100 cup, but blaming the players is not, the way to go about it. That's for sure.
Well, not only that, it's on Sunday as well. Like, people want to rest sometimes too as well. You don't just want to play like every day, every week, a single. Like sometimes people like to have.
Well, Bly does, but I've never seen a turn without Bly in it. Well, that's, kind of an interesting thing. I wish I had looked into that. I guess I missed that. But, sometimes things don't work out, and it's nobody's actual fault. They just didn't work out because not everything, you can't just always have an idea and have it work out perfectly, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean that the players are bad people or the organizers are bad people or the fans are bad people. This is something that kind of figures itself out because things that make it are supposed to make it, and things that aren't supposed to make it don't make it.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I think that's the right way to go about having tournaments. Like a lot of organizers do this where they run these tournaments with high expectations, like, oh, Cyril's going to sign up or Neeb's going to sign up, and like all this stuff happens, and then nobody signs up, and they're like, wow, fuck these players. They're so ungrateful.
Well,
not really.
Some of my favorite content pieces I've ever made personally, no one cared about, and no one was like, this is great. Even though there's like a couple things that I've written in videos I've made where I was like, I was like, this is the greatest thing I've ever done. the greatest ever. And then like they get less views than anything else I've ever done. And I'm like, oh, like, yeah, it happens. All right. Well, farewell to StarCraft Sundays, but it seemed like some very good players signed up and had a good time and won some money. So thanks to Wardy and Take for your good effort. Yeah, I guess we finally did hit a tournament that Terrence didn't win this week. So
one tournament.
Yeah. All right. Pizza Pie bi-weekly.
Oh boy.
This is where the rubber meets the road. Okay. Gerald, he wins Pizza 4. Over who? Starkiller. Oh, Starkiller coming back. Almost did it.
Why does he have 99? Like, was that a walkover win?
No, you can. Everyone puts 99 when they win.
Oh, okay.
It looks like
nice.
GG, right?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't realize we were still speaking leet speak here. I'm one of the cool kids too.
It's too bad that Starkiller missed out there. I want to see the rich get richer. I want to see his pizza number just get so high you can't stop him.
Wait, now how does this tournament even works? Like, if you win, you actually get a pizza or what?
Yeah, that's the prize.
Yeah, you should play. I think you technically have to be in America, but
You see, that's the problem. So how
The thing is, I bet you you'd have to ask them, but I bet you they would they would try to help you because we have pizza school here. So for $5 you can get a pizza.
No, fuck pizza school. What the hell? Why would I get pizza?
You don't like pizza school?
Pizza school's amazing. Pizza
This is
school's
the
amazing.
greatest. This is the greatest value there's ever been. We have a place that sells $5 pizzas out here.
It's cheaper.
Fucking shit.
Max,
It's
pizza
cheaper
school.
than Little
Deal.
Caesars. Like
It's the cheapest.
No. If I win, I want what's the name? A Papa John's.
Papa John's is
Papa
it's
John's?
good. That stuff's deadly
Yeah.
good.
Well,
I
you only
think-
want a Papa John's because it's $50.
No, it's 30.
Yeah, that stuff's
get
too
your shit
expensive.
right.
yeah, from what I
I think
recall,
Domino's is a good in between right now.
Really?
they'll give you a pizza, and if they can't find a pizza place that will deliver to you, or they can't like pay them or whatever, then they'll give you. I think it's $15 or $25. I forget, but like
That's
they'll
way more than pizza. It's like 5 pizzas. So if you win
Yeah.
4 pizza pie bi-weeklies and get $25 for each one, you are tied with Starkiller for pizza wins.
yeah, if you buy multiple pizzas for your pizza win, then you can catch
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
great way to do it.
We'll see.
All right. So Pizza Pie Bi-Weekly. Check it out. I guess it'll be 2 weeks before the next one. All right. In Depth, number 23.
Mhm,
This was
mhm.
about
What is-
Estrella. With
what,
no regret.
What is this? What are you discussing in this picture?
I think we're talking about dick sizes right here.
You're just saying what we're all thinking.
I believe this was the part of the show where we talked about Australia, too. So
Well, the whole show was about Estrella. He was kind enough to give us his GSL Super Tournament replays, in which he got 3rd place in his group, defeating Sue once, but falling to him and only receiving 3rd place, just barely not making Super Tournament.
Oh,
It was actually, I felt like it was a very, very good episode. So check it out, youtube.com/ArtosisTV. A very cool style in PvZ Estrella. I'm a fan.
Thank you.
All right. Return of the Icy Far with Pig. Current challenge, 1-2 punch. Use 2-pronged attack maneuvers to pull your opponent apart. Send your replays in. Is a new replay submission place for that. It's no longer Eon Blue. It's Fluxior SC. And put Icy Far in the title if you want Pig to check out your replays. All right, Afrika World 43 by Laughing Games and Falcon Paladin. A Laser defeated Gung Fu Banda 4-3 in those finals. And look at that, 3-0s in the round before. Check it out over on afrikatv.com/Laughing Games. All right, the Games Invitational. What the hell? Tasia 5-0'd DRG.
damn.
Terran,
Wow.
Terran,
What a guy.
How did that happen?
In a
Terran.
best of 7.
I watched the replays.
Was it Terran?
No.
I mean, that has to be a best of 9. Yeah, it says best of 7. How is it a 5-0? DRG's
Yeah,
like, give me
good.
one more. Give me
Terran's
one.
so good that they win extra games and best ofs. This is
Damn.
like, you remember there was this guy that held the world record for all these ancient video games, and there's this big scandal a while back that like almost all of his records were fake, and because they would go into like the play.
Are you talking about my hot sauce boy?
Close.
Okay.
No, this was like Mr. Nintendo or whatever back in the day. And they double checked some of these records, and the maximum possible score would be like 100 for this like game or whatever. And his entered record that he got was like 25 million or something. Like all the records are like insanely fake. So this is clearly fake news. 5-0 and a best of 7, man.
Have any of you guys played Tasia lately? Is he in good shape?
Not
I mean, it
good.
seems it.
Not good.
Not good.
Not good.
So does that mean DRG's in even worse shape?
No, it's
I
the
think
problem
DRG
is
is
the
not
Terran.
bad, but I don't know. Like those matches are played like at 2 a.m. You don't really want to play, you know. And you-
Mhm.
I mean, it's true. You just don't want to play at 2 a.m.
Yeah,
All
it's
right.
just 2 a.m., man. Terran just has a
Yeah.
2 a.m. advantage, honestly.
2 a.m. advantage. Okay.
I don't know. It's funny coming from you, Jack, because every time you play Terran, you whine the most of everyone I
No,
ever met in my life.
never.
Yes. Oh,
Never.
how can I beat this fucking Oracle? It's impossible to beat.
What? I didn't complain about Oracle, did I?
Yeah,
Maybe I
you
did.
did.
Maybe I did. Oracles are pretty annoying.
Excellent. I'm loving this episode already. We're not even through this week in StarCraft. All right, so Tasia 5-0's DRG, great stuff. Moving forward. 2019 National Strength Summer Tournament National Finals Power Series League.
of
You know,
power.
you can just tell that this is a Chinese league going on.
I can't tell if this is like a weightlifting competition or a StarCraft
I think it's a
tournament.
sports. I think it's a sports competition. We've been trying to cover this one.
Right, but esports is sports, right, Dan?
Yeah, esports is apparently sports.
Oh,
I tell
okay.
you, from how sweaty I get after a TVP, I think it might actually be. So yeah, that's going on. It looks like the finals are actually like today. Okay,
What is
cool. I
this?
guess next week we're going to tell you who the champion is of that. Check it out. It's under the Gold Series on Liquipedia. All right, the Primus Cup LATAM Sir.
It means South, okay?
Oh, okay. I'm like, that's not how you spell Sir. Signups close on October 4th, so you got one more day to sign up for that. The qualifiers are on October 7th, 8th, and 9th, with the event on October 14th through 23rd. It's for players from South or Central America, or players south of Central America. Never mind. You Panamanians can't get in, apparently.
So if you're from Belize, you can't play?
Yes, that's correct. You
Well,
can't.
do you even know that country, by the way?
Yes, of course I know.
Do you know Belize? That's where John McAfee went, right?
I don't know who John McAfee is, but I just want to know.
What,
if
you don't know McAfee, the guy who runs the or used to run the security software, and then went crazy and decided he wanted to take over the Belize government, and then like had that whole thing where he was like drugging people and stuff.
It's so crazy. There's a documentary about it. It's one of the best documentaries I've ever seen.
Okay,
but yeah, he owns Belize.
Okay, I don't know how we got into that, but thank you
Belize.
guys.
Basically.
All right, the Australian Esports Federation SC2 LAN event. We finally have all of the players, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so hold on. Okay, EU Namshar defeated Hearthstone 3-2, and Estrella defeated NASA 3-2. Congrats!
Whoa!
Thank you.
Whoa!
Whoa!
In the Australian one, Probe defeated Scyther 2-0. And then Solar defeated Cure 3-1 in Asia. So Namshar, Solar, both Zerg, Estrella, Probe, both Protoss.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about this tournament? Do you know what the bracket looks like yet?
Yeah, unlucky.
Oh, you're playing Solar?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's not even a group thing. So
it's a single elim?
It's single elim, and then there's a third, fourth place match. So I just
don't take the plane, man. Don't take it.
Don't take the plane.
Don't take the plane.
Yeah.
Nope.
You just don't go, man. You're gonna waste your time. I'm telling you right now. You're not gonna
it's
be
a
Solar.
$5,000 event.
Yeah, but how much money?
Pay?
$260 for fourth.
Don't take the plane, man.
For me, it's worth it though, because I'm using it to fly home. They're paying for the flights and stuff.
I guess.
Nice.
Why the fuck it's single elim? That's some bullshit, man.
It's okay. I'll just have to beat Solar.
No problem. You're close.
Good luck with that.
All right. Well, that is coming up. It's next weekend, right? Or no, it's in 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah. 2 weeks. The date got moved so that Super Tournament could occur because there was an overlap. But yeah, very cool. We get to see who is who has won that now. So congrats to all the players, and we will keep you updated on that. All right. ProBots Season 3 registration ends on October 7th. If you want to do bot stuff, eschamp.com is where you want to go. The ProBot stuff will all be on their Twitch channel as well. If you want to sign up, you still have time. Go do it. StarCraft 2 UK Discord. Join it if you are in the UK. The Epic LAN 28 is coming up October 10th through 13th. So if you want to connect with your fellow Brits, go ahead and join that Discord and go to that LAN. All right, General Transmissions. New York City LAN number 2, sponsored by the eSport Fund. This is a Brood War tournament, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. The number 1 actually had a lot of signups. Apparently, they filled up completely and had some pretty strong players go down. I believe Models ended up winning that over Sugo in the finals. So number 2 coming up, and that's going to be October 19th.
Yeah.
If you're in the area, you definitely want to go. Brood War tournaments are super fun.
Yeah,
Maybe
and the prize.
Wardy should make Brood War tournaments instead.
Well, the prize pool.
We need more people doing it. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Almost $2,000. So that's a lot for a Brood War tournament.
Yeah, no, that's really good. That's really reasonable. All right, another general transmission here. We have Freaky TV Alpha Pro Series Show Match 113. Nitix, the Zerg player, against Cuddle Bear, the Terran player. I think that already occurred. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Nitix defeated Cuddle Bear 5-3. Congrats to him. You can check that out over on freakatv.com/AlphaXSC2. right, the Archives Book Club. Looks like this is something made by Aoret, who is someone we have featured before on the show, makes some great content for up-and-comers as well as veterans. And it looks like they are discussing the book Thinking in Bets. Oh, that's by Andy Duke, actually. It's a good book. Check it out over on his Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Aoret. All right, the College Star League Autumn Competition, CSL. This is not the American one. This is the Chinese one. The registration is still open, I believe, if you are in China. I guess we'll cover that more as we get results from it. All right, this week in Brood War. Corrupted Cup is coming up. We're going to have an episode about it next week. We'll talk more about that towards the end of the show. The STPL. Why don't you tell us what's going on there, Rapid?
Yeah, so this is actually not from today's games. STPL, if you're wondering, it always happens right before the Pylon show. So if you never watch it all week, it's broadcast 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But it's always on before the Pylon show. So if you're thinking, well, what do I want to watch? I have some time before the Pylon show. STPL's on. So basically, it's a team league with clans from all over the world. A lot of new Koreans. Valhalla team's a South American team, but I don't know if you know the Wiko clan, Artosis.
No, you know that I know the Wiko clan.
I know you know the Wiko clan because they,
because they all cheese me on the ladder.
It's
day
so
in,
bad.
day out.
You know it's gonna happen before it happens. It's so good. So the Wiko clan wanted to join STPL, but they didn't want to make their own team, so they joined Valhalla. So a lot of the new players to Valhalla, which was a pretty average to below average team last season, they're so badass this season. And Rev is a foreign team, but they don't usually perform very well, and they beat them, which is pretty amazing. In fact, the games from today's STPL from Valhalla team had some of the stupidest, craziest games ever. There was who was it? Radley, like triple nuked a guy he was playing against. He used optic flare to blind their observers so they couldn't see the cloaked ghosts, and then EMP the Nexus so it died to the. It was just like, it's some of the sickest stuff.
Sounds like great players.
Dude, it's the crazy. It's so good. It's just so good. Like you know. Like you go to the Coliseum to watch like the gladiators who are like the pinnacle of like human athleticism and skill, but sometimes you want to watch the really bad gladiators because then it's just it's messier. So that's pretty good. So that's kind of what happened there. This was a little bit of an upset. I think we talk about STPL below there because they just finished the standings for the first week, which doesn't actually make a whole lot of sense, but that's because not all the teams have really evened out as far as their scores are concerned. But STPL, it's going on. It's a Brood War team league. It's got tons of players from all over the world, including a lot of good Korean players. So check it out if that's what you're into.
It's Nyokin in there, though. That's the one that matters.
I don't think Nyokin's on a team, no. He used to be on Media who was playing, but then, something happened to Media.
Did it fall apart?
All of us have jobs and we don't
What
have time
doesn't
to
happen
play
to Media? It always has some excuse. Always.
Yeah.
Oh, kid.
Don't worry. Eventually, Media will turn into Six Jacks and they'll enter.
Yeah.
Listen,
What a
this
thing.
fucking B+ Terran over here talking shit.
What? You were worse than me in Brood War, mate. What are you talking about?
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, we're gonna have a show match.
Okay.
Well, not now, but before you were way worse. What?
Oh, okay. You keep telling yourself that, buddy.
What? Okay. What?
BSL, Bombastic Star League, Season 7. Rassels, why don't you tell us about that one as well?
Okay, BSL is like the big 1v1 like bracket style tournament. It's not a team league. It's just badasses killing each other. And mostly we have finished 3 out of 4 of the actually no, we made it all the way through groups A and B. So we've got a little bit more going on. But the big things are SPX is a very strong Russian Terran player, is looking insane this season because last season he got knocked out in the round of 16. Now he's making it all the way past Dragon, who's a guy that made top 4 last season and didn't make it through the group stages. So Group B, Eon Zerg, one of the best non-Korean Brood War players out there. He's from Belgium. He is fantastic this season, looked incredibly dominant. And he and SPX and a lot of the players in BSL are all players that are going to be playing in the Corrupted Cup, which like Artosis said, we'll be talking about it a little bit later. So this is the tournament that you watch if you want to see what like the best non-Korean Brood War players look like. And the level is actually shockingly high, especially compared to what it used to be. Like back in the day, you know, when you think of all the Brood War players being really, really good, it was basically unheard of for non-Koreans to beat Korean players. And it happened like once or twice every once in a while, but it was like by far shocking. And now it's actually a lot closer.
But it's unfair to compare those times to now, though.
Definitely. Yeah, it's unfair to compare it. I'm just saying that like it happens now. A lot of the best non-Korean players do actually take games off of like semi-pro and some of the lower ranking pro players. So it's a lot more interesting to watch instead of just expecting total stomps. So yeah, that's BSL.
Yeah. Thank you much. Definitely check that out, everyone.
Where's Nyokin, though?
Nyokin, he got eliminated, actually.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Well, that's what happens when you have to play against a Protoss best of one. I mean, what is
and you randomly unsiege your tanks and walk into the middle of the map without vultures. Ugh.
Yeah. Did he make a mistake in one of his games? Yeah, he's out of the tournament. Sorry about that.
That's right. One. Only one.
Doesn't matter how good you get at Terran, that happens still. All right. Yeah. Under general transmissions, we have the Undermine Podcast, episode 32. I think we talked about that last week. Check it out on makingcomputerdothings.com. This is the one about Brood War AIs, which, again, we'll be covering that some more in the future as well. ASL has announced a map contest. Ooh. It is from September 30th through November 1st. You can check out all the details on teamliquid.net. On their forum. There's a bunch of prizes going on. It's not cash prizes, but a lot of cool ASL gear and stuff. And your map might get used in ASL, which would be really cool to see some of the best players in the world playing on it.
Yeah, some Acropolis.
Right. Yeah. Ooh. So a new bug was found in Brood War like 3 days ago. This bug is so
crazy.
Stupid.
It's so crazy.
I can't believe how many new bugs are getting found all the time. Like since StarCraft Remaster came out, we have like 4 completely new bugs. But this bug is the weirdest thing. It's basically you're making like a pylon, but apparently, Rapid, you said it works with a depot as well.
Okay, so this is the really interesting thing. Let's talk about the bug for a second. The way that this works is you build a building, any building, it can be any building, you take a worker or any unit, but what the important part is that right as the building is completing, right as it's warping in, you can see it finish. You cancel it the second before it finishes, and you attack it during that moment. So you attack the building right as it's about to finish, and you cancel it. And what this allows you to do, this bug, is it shows you the next unit that is made on the map. So what happens is you do this thing, you cancel the building, and all of a sudden it'll show you the next unit that's made. Now, this is your opponent's unit. And so you do this very early on, and you can select the location of the unit that is shown and find out where your opponent is through Fog of War. It's so stupid. It's so crazy. There's a lot of VODs of Koreans out there. Firebat Hero made a VOD about this. A couple of other people made a VOD about this. But the explanation of why it works is the most mind-boggling thing to me, because it turns out that as you're making a unit, the unit is untargetable. It's unselectable, but it is targetable. And it starts at 0 health, and as it's making, the progress bar is the unit like gaining health. Okay, so what happens is it's as you're damaging a building, when you cancel the building, it thinks that I should show you the next unit that is also damaged in the game, which is a unit when it starts to be built. So usually it'll select a worker being built at a command center across the map in Fog of War. It shows you that. It's so stupid. It's a lot like the buffer overflow kind of thing that lets you get Mew in Pokemon Red and Blue, just in Brood War. And as crazy as the bug itself is, and let me hear your take on this, Artosis, the crazier thing is all of these people, like fans and pro gamers and like random people, that are like, well, this is one of those bugs like mutastacking. We should leave it in Brood War because it's like an mechanic. And I'm like, no, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. It's basically math hacks.
Yes. Well, to be able to figure out where your opponent is without scouting.
Yeah. Well, because people are saying, well, you have to build an extra building and then you have to cancel the building and it's not economic. I'm like, you know where your opponent is on a 4-player map. Like, how stupid is that?
Well, why is he even sending the probe to scout? Be rich.
It's so stupid.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot probe twin games.
No, it's silly stuff. Yeah, that's true. and it's a Terran he's against. Well, it's been banned from Corrupted Cup, so that's good. And I think it'll probably get banned from KSL and ASL and stuff like that. I'll keep you guys updated on that in the future.
Well,
but
remember the ally mines. It's probably like that. It's gonna get banned like that, you know. Like
yeah. Most of the new bugs have been allowed.
Yeah, because they're just retarded.
Yeah, this one's stupid. Anyone who really plays can look at that and be like, this is stupid. And then you might find a Protoss player that's like, no, it's fine. It's fine for me to just know where he is. Yeah, okay, thanks, Protoss players. You guys are really not dirty at all. Okay. No. Thank you for that, Rapid. All right, this weekend, awesome. The BlizzCon virtual ticket is going on sale. If you want to be able to watch absolutely everything BlizzCon, and I'm not sure exactly everything that includes, it looks like it's $49.99. And it's given away a bunch of things like skins, some classic skins, some portraits, things like that. Definitely something everyone wants to add, you know, to their repertoire.
Yeah, so that is
that a classic Brood War battle cruiser thingy?
Yeah, so basically it skins the StarCraft 2 units like StarCraft 1 units, and it's all of the ultimate units like the carrier, battlecruiser, and Ultralisk. And I believe this gives you one stream for every stage that they have at BlizzCon, as well as a cosplay stream, presentation streams that they do. Basically everything that's on a stage you can watch. So it's actually pretty cool, and you get the skins. So what more could you want?
I get that for free.
Well, if you make it to BlizzCon, you get it for free.
No, I already get it for free. I already made it to BlizzCon.
Well, you got to get out of your group, buddy, or you're only going to play here.
That's not possible. Okay.
All right. Definitely check that one out. Of course, the War Chest is still going on. I believe that we are still in phase 2, or did phase 3 start yet? I don't know. Anyways.
Yeah, phase 2.
Yeah. Okay. So phase 2 still going on. In fact, if you're watching the Pylon Show live, you can gain experience by doing so. Just link it to your Twitch account. All right. That does it for this week in StarCraft, which means I believe we have some clips this week, Cobra?
And this is welcome. I'm Shonko from Making Computer Do Things, and this is AI News for Gamers. The weekly Student StarCraft AI tournament broadcasts are still going strong, currently at the 140th episode. Check it out on the SSCEIT YouTube channel or ssceit.tournament.com. There is also a site called Basil at basilicon.whitekeeper.org where you can see and download an enormous amount of bot replays. These bots have come a long way from the built-in StarCraft AI. They can pull off strategies that can be difficult for even pro players. Be sure to check them out and join us at the SSCEIT Discord. You can also check out a long-running blog by Jay Scott, author of one of the most prominent bots, Steamhammer. That's all AI news for now. See you next time.
Next up we have Nathanius with 2 nukes, 1 Zerg.
This incredible. That's incredible. I legitimately cannot believe it. I actually can't believe it. The ghost that was sitting there calling down this nuke the whole time didn't get picked. I actually called down 2 nukes. It was 2. I didn't even realize it was 2 nukes. Guys, it was 2. I didn't even realize. Resources lost 22,550. I killed 10,000 resources with 2 nukes. Your repeated scans hid the landing point. He thought he killed the ghost aiming the nuke. He did. He thought he killed it. He did not.
Seems pretty fair.
Ooh.
You know, the funny part is he probably still lost his game. So.
Oh yeah. Here we go.
This was ended by Quicks, and I think this is what Rapid was referring to earlier, I think.
This is the sickest.
He's gonna drop in the pizza wedge. Where's the optical flare? Optical flare right now. Oh my god. It's fucking blind.
Yeah.
That's so sick.
And look at this.
Unbelievable.
Look at his vision. He can't see.
He can't do anything. Oh, he's got a second observer. Where's the second optical flare? Oh no, that's the same. Oh my god. How good is optical flare?
There we go. Nukes
Oh,
coming
this
in.
map. Is it
It
Neo
lands.
And
Cobra.
boom goes the dynamite. Hell yeah! And he just picks up and runs away.
Yeah.
Why he didn't even move the probes though? What the fuck, man?
Oh.
Next up, we have a clip from Nation Wars.
I'm pretty happy. The discussion go around who you guys were going to send out for the fourth map.
For
the fourth map, I think they wanted me to go out to try and get a quick win, and at 4-0.
I just thought it was getting late, so I wanted them to get it over.
I mean, if the Riddler would start, we could have been here until 5 a.m. You never know, right?
We certainly were not sending the Riddler. Okay, we did not consider him at all. There was no. We didn't even message him. We didn't even message him at all. I was like, nope. It was between her or I. Okay. Listen, I appreciate you though. You know, like when he plays, I go and take a shower. I get like a snack and shit because I got time. I got lots of time. But like no acing. You know.
All right. Well, Jan, I'm pretty happy. Yeah. Any final words?
And last but not least, we have our favorite Gabe, or Big Gabe, or Biggest. He's playing a game and then decides to check on the potatoes he has cooking in the oven.
Let me check on my potatoes again to see if they're doing well.
Something, Terran, right?
Don't do this.
No.
Darren. I'd love to check my potatoes while playing.
Oh my god.
You see, this is like what a Protoss stream looks like.
Fantastic. They're doing absolutely wonderfully.
That's it, guys. Back to you, Dan.
I feel like we're missing some Brood War clips from
Artosis. I don't think Artosis?
Yeah, those are the best clips of the year. My favorite clip is where the probe is like walking away from the Marine and then it just like goes invisible and the Marine can't hit it. It was great.
My favorite one is where your tank got stuck.
Oh yeah, that was a good one too.
Oh, that was insane.
That one was sick too.
Guys, I
don't think I've
ever
seen you that mad. That was like proper mad.
It was proper mad. Losing to that shit, my units won't move. I feel like there needs to be a Riddler no regret show match, to be honest.
No,
okay.
Dear God, no.
So it's time to talk about GSL Super Tournament, which is kind of the main stuff of the show. That was this week in StarCraft and Cobra's Clips. Thank you everyone for that. It was good stuff. Now let's start off. Here, let me bring up my window. So GSL Super Tournament. We'll look at first. Let's pull up the standings, the WCS standings. Oh God.
Okay. Oh wait. Sorry, we have another clip.
Is there another one?
Since you guys mentioned it, I figured I'd play
it. Yeah, Cobra's just playing the clips we were talking about from Artosis.
Yeah,
last minute pull.
I heard there's a tank one. Where's the tank one?
Yeah, I don't have that one in the deck. If you have it available, sure.
The tank one was stupid. It's like I pulled my SCVs in tanks and Marines tank and Marines to bust some stupid all in, and then my tank got stuck and didn't come. So it was like SCVs fighting units. It was bad.
That was
I can't even. So GSL versus or not GSL versus World, GSL Super Tournament. This is the last chance for people to qualify for BlizzCon. So let's take a look first at the standings. The WCS standings that we have on Wikipedia that shows kind of who's still in the running. I also made some wonderful graphics as well. We'll look into those in a moment. But okay, so first off, the standings, we can see that Dark, Trap, Maru, Rogue, Sue are all 100% doing BlizzCon, the World Championships. And then you have a huge amount of names that are in yellow right now. Just to mention Classic, I've heard that there is some possibility now that he'll be able to do BlizzCon, but it's not for certain yet. So we don't know if he is going to go. Obviously, if he can go, he gets the spot because he's ranked so high. So that's definitely a big deal. Now, let's jump from there to the actual bracket of GSL Super Tournament and just kind of take a look at what that looks like. and then we'll go to my wonderful graphic that will show you what this all means together. So we've seen the standings. We'll look at the actual bracket, which you can see Rogue versus Stats, Dark versus Maru, Su versus Impact, Gumio versus Cure. That's one side of the bracket. And then we have Solar versus Parting, Ragnarok versus TY, Hero versus Stream, and Classic versus Trap. Okay. Now let's jump to my wonderful graphic. I did tweet it out if anyone wants to look at it.
This is my favorite one.
Audio.
Let me find it. It's under the crayons here somewhere. Oh, here we go.
I did some maths this morning to figure out what GSL Super Tournament really means and who has real potential to get through.
I just think it's really nice that you got your kids to help you out with your StarCraft stuff, Dan.
Yeah, yeah. So the green names are already going no matter what. I put Classic in orange because he's a maybe. Like maybe he gets to go, maybe he doesn't. We don't know yet. And then the red ones are people that have zero chance. Doesn't matter if they win and everyone else loses. They can't make it. And then the blue names are the ones truly fighting for their spots at BlizzCon. Now, you'll notice one blue name did not make it in. That's Deer. He's currently in 9th place in the standings. So for him to make it to BlizzCon, nothing can work out for Classic. And then also, we need TY, Ragnarok, Gumiho, and Solar to not make the top 2. And then if Parting makes 2nd place, they'll have a playoff match. So a lot of things have to go right for Deer to make it. Okay, we need a lot of players to fail at everything for Deer to make it.
So you're saying there's a chance.
There's a chance. There's a real chance there.
It's not that bad.
Yeah, overall, looking at this, Hero and Stats look very good to make it. To make it to BlizzCon. But all that aside, obviously, Super Tournament starts tonight, and we will, kind of walk you through that. I guess it's actually tomorrow that we're gonna have most of the matches that are really going to decide when people get eliminated from BlizzCon contention, because only Gumio can be eliminated completely tonight. So let's jump back to the actual bracket, I guess. We don't need to show this wonderful thing that I drew up there. And yeah, let's go over this. Let's talk about what this looks like as far as the matches go. So maybe we'll go through in order here. The defending champion of GSL, Code S, Rogue, going up against the greatest Macro Protoss Stats. What do you guys think about this match?
I think Stats is going to need to bring out something new, or else he's going to get destroyed.
I don't know. I've been watching Stats practice a lot because he really doesn't want to be the rank 8 of Korea, because that puts you in the Zerg group and Maru group.
Mm-hmm.
And Rogue has been practicing mostly against Terran because he's helping Maru beat Dark. That's what I've been seeing so far.
Mm-hmm. So what does that lead you to think about that matchup then?
That Zerg is going to win regardless of practice or not.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for those little tidbits that you are now ignoring.
I think jokes aside, it is really hard for Stats, but at the same time, I think Stats is probably prepping quite a lot. I think he could probably come up with something that is viable against Rogue. I think there's a lot of information on Rogue right now and how he plays the matchup. I don't feel like it's impossible. I think it's hard, but not impossible. And given the fact that we've just told that Rogue is practicing against Terran specifically, it's giving Stats all of the opportunities to possibly do it. So I'm hoping he does something. It is a best of 5, so it's a little bit harder too. But we'll see.
Yeah, and so the reason why he's practicing ZVT is to help Maru, because Maru doesn't want to play Cyril at BlizzCon. Is that correct? Am I hearing this right?
He doesn't want to be in that group, I think.
Yeah, so he needs more points basically to change his rank. That's funny.
I think it's really interesting that this is the first match, because Rogue was the guy that knocked Stats out of the last season of GSL. Also, Rogue just beat another pretty good Protoss quite handily. Who could have predicted such a thing? Is it maybe no? Oh,
maybe everybody.
Oh, except okay. Well, yeah, but I think this is really cool, because not only is it like revenge match or whatever, but also I think like Rogue is just having kind of a streak against Protoss players at this point. I just want to see if Stats beats him, then there's like, we're all happy for the Stats boys and everybody can spam that cute emote that he has. But if Rogue wins, then it just really builds up this like really sick Zerg versus Protoss narrative that people are touting everywhere.
What do you think is the result there, Rapid? Is that a 3-0, or do you have like a more conservative?
Oh, I definitely have my thoughts about the concern. So most likely outcome, according to, I think, Illegalac, was 3-1 Rogue. I think probably Stats has put in a little bit of work since we last saw him. The problem a lot of times is like the offline environment so different than playing like online that it's kind of hard to get a real feel for what a lot of these players are like. Like if you're just watching their stream, or if you watch them playing like a Lima League or whatever, it's not quite the same. So
do we have like the human embodiment of a Ligulac here, or what is this exactly? I don't get it.
I mean,
what the fuck? Fuck that thing.
I'm just trying to say, as an additional data point that maybe you should take with a grain of salt, it's
does
out
the
there.
Ligulac predict with like offline versus online results, or how does that work?
You can filter it. So what I did is I filtered out all offline or all online results, and then I also like filtered out like results against non-Korean players, and then I filtered out everything but Protoss, and it says 21%. So there you go.
So in Korea?
Yes. In Korea, offline Protoss players.
Well, we know that. Zerg OP against Protoss. We know that for years already. So.
Okay,
years.
well, there we go. Years.
It's been 3 years.
As soon as Protoss is like starting to have a hard time, it's like, oh yeah, they've been having trouble for years.
It's actually been 3 years. So yeah.
We've actually, the thing is, there was this little oasis of Immortal pushes. Yeah. And that's the only thing people can remember. But if you remember, Jake, we went through statistically at the peak of whining about Immortal Imbalance, it represented like 10% of builds used at WCS and PVZ. So
WCS Protoss don't count, though. They suck. So this time.
Okay, anyways.
So are we going with a hard Rogue victory here?
I would say 60%.
I would say
70%.
so.
I think Stats can do it.
Yeah? So, but do you think he will do it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think we're underestimating Stats. He's quite powerful. I just don't want to see him play 3 Oracle every game because I don't think it's a good build anymore.
I think 3 Oracle is really good. You don't think it's good?
It's not good.
I think.
Wait. Why is it not good, Special?
Because Zerg already know it's coming, so they just make drones and be happy. I watched a million times.
3 Oracle, and that's why Oracle's not good?
Yes. Anything that lets Zerg makes only drones is good for Zerg. Right, Ashria?
Yeah, I think so. I think it was like a flavor of the week thing, kind of like Immortals. When Zergs weren't as good as holding it, and they always got like 10 drones, it was a good build. But I really struggle with that build on ladder. Maybe I'm just bad, but I don't know.
No, you're not bad.
No, I think that they do adjust against that. It's actually, I like that you say that Stats needs to bring something a little bit new, a little bit different. That's what I was saying about Trap against Rogue, where I was like the same old stuff. I don't think there's any chance. And actually, you play some very off styles of PvZ. What type of play do you think that Stats needs to bring to actually beat Rogue in a best of 5?
I think he can play his kind of standard things, but he has to mix it up and not be too predictable. Like sometimes if you Archon drop, since it's more rare these days, Zergs will be building like 3-4 spores because that's what you do versus 3 Oracle. So as long as he just isn't predictable with his standard builds, then I think he'll have some chance.
Okay. So overall, you think Stats is going to win? Is everyone else on the Rogue bandwagon here?
Yeah. Rogue is going to win.
Okay. All right, let's move on to Dark against Maru. Obviously, Season 1 champ against Season 2 champ. Ridiculously good TVZ. Where are we at here? Rapid, let's hear you. I want to hear Rapid first, Mr. Ligulac over here. With his decisive predictions.
How do you call this? What? Like the true winner of this game is the fans.
The fans.
Okay,
yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I could watch these guys play like a best of 69, and while they wouldn't like it, I would love it. Because obviously, like they're the two best players. This could be BlizzCon finals, GSL finals, whatever. Like it's just gonna be so sick. I don't actually know who to predict. I think Maru's like lately, especially like last season in GSL, like very disappointing. I felt like obviously it's a different matchup and it's not like something that you can compare directly. But I would say Dark looks maybe a little bit stronger right now. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Wait, what does the Ligulac say? Is it 50%?
No, it's definitely not 50%.
Okay.
Let's see. What is it? Dark and Maru. Hold on, I got it all set up right here. What are we looking at? 57 Maru, 42 Dark.
Wow.
I mean, I think it could go either way. It depends on Maru so much. It's actually ridiculous because Maru can bring like 2 different versions of himself. Like
Well, apparently he's been practicing a lot, so I guess that's.
Or he could just slap Maru or slap Dark in a long game. Like he's actually crazy.
I don't remember the last time I've seen these two play. It's been a really long time, right?
I think so.
Well, it was actually in February 28th, so quite a while.
Well, that's exciting. He still has the illegal act page open, doesn't he?
It's right there. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? I thought this was America.
Well, I mean, all of us are in Korea, but okay. Point taken. Juan, what do you think about Maru versus Dark here?
I don't know. I watched Maru play yesterday with Rogue. He's insanely good, but playing like that in an actual tournament is really, really hard, because I don't know. I feel like Terran relies a lot on not making mistakes compared to the other 2 races. So I don't think he can play like that.
What do they rely upon if it's not making mistakes?
No, well, you see Perth and Zerg players make all the kind of mistakes and they still win. So I don't know. I think Maru will win, but
you can make mistakes.
I don't know. I think Dark is really good, but this map favors Zerg a lot against Terran. Like this map pool in general, all of them. But I don't know. I think Maru is just a better player, but we'll see. I want to say Maru, but I want to say Dark, but I think Maru will win.
Okay. Well, when the Terran player says that a Terran's going to win, I definitely perk up and listen to that. So, all right, we got a Maru right there. Rapid, who's winning?
I mean, probably Maru. but he could always. He could always potato it. Like I don't know.
Potato it.
Wait. So, why are Maru and Rogue practicing if there's a high chance they'll play?
I told you, because he doesn't want to be in
he's trying to switch groups. He doesn't want to be in Cyril's group.
So
because there's seeding for the BlizzCon groups for pre-week.
Yeah.
And right now at Maru's rank, he is in like the group of death, which is Cyril basically. And he doesn't want that. So he's really practicing hard because he needs to beat Dark to have a chance to not be in that group.
If you were Juan, if you were Rogue, would you practice with Maru?
They always play it regardless. They help each other because they know themselves for years. So I don't know.
Man, Maru really doesn't want us to have a Cyril versus Maru match. It's so sad.
Do you really want to play Zerg in this map pool? Not really, do you? Like, he just doesn't want to be in that group because that group will be, like, if it ended right now, will be Cyril, Stats, Maru, and Time. And that's a very hard group for Terran to advance. Like, you have to play a good Zerg and a good Protoss against Terran. So that's why he not want to be.
So what if it was just all good Terrans? Would that be better? Or
what do you mean if they were all good Terrans?
Like you sound like you were scared of a good Zerg and a good Protoss, but what if it was just all really good Terrans? Would you be scared of that, or would that be less scary?
But that's not a thing. There's only one Terran from Korea qualified.
Oh, I see. There's no good Terrans then, is what you're saying.
No, the balance is just not there.
Got him.
Excellent. Dark versus Maru. Who wins it, Jake?
I think Maru.
Okay, so we got 3 Marus. Estrella, are you going to break this?
I really don't know, but I'll go with Dark.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, see? The guy just won fucking GSL and got round of 4, and you guys are all like, he's dead.
No, anyone can win, of course.
Yeah,
but I think it's going to be 3-2. It's going to be a 3-2, no matter who wins.
I agree.
I hope so. I hope we don't see any mech. All right.
Mech is so bad now. It's really insane how terrible it is. No, it's really bad. It's not even...
Sick.
It's terrible right now. I can't believe anyone still does it. It's insane.
Because if you play only bio, it's also terrible too. So that's why you need to mix it.
So you gotta play bio mech. We figured it out, boys.
I did that against Raynor actually. One game.
Did it work?
Yes.
There we go. Bio mech.
Damn.
Yeah, he forgot he can scout them. So there's that.
All right. Next matchup: Sue versus Impact. I predict this to be a fast match. What do you guys think?
I think the winner of the tournament is going to come with this matchup, by the way.
That's a very bold
laugh.
prediction. That's a massively bold prediction.
Really?
That is a hot take.
There's a 0% chance of that happening, I think.
I'm pretty sure it's 0. Let me check oh, yeah, it's 0%. There you go.
Yeah, I think it's 0%.
You guys underestimate Sue too much. You will see.
You mean Impact, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm
I do
pretty
not think
sure.
Impact is going to win.
Actually,
this
like if you
Yeah,
look
who-
at Impact win rate right now in the team league, China team league is like 8-1. He's very good right now.
in a
but-
best of 1 or is it best of 3?
No, best of 2.
With
So
2
you have
games.
to win 2 games.
I don't know.
Not bad, man.
I don't think he's a champion here, though. That's for sure.
I think Sue is gonna win the tournament. But yeah.
Jesus.
Why do you think that?
Whoa.
He doesn't even use infestors. Why do you think
Didn't you
that?
see him get bopped by Estrella too?
Nah, come on.
Those games were like sick too. Estrella was playing his own style, and
That's true.
he had Broodlord Infestor some of the games and still lost.
Yeah, but those are the things that only work once. What happened next time? He lost.
So what happened
Damn.
next time was he got 12 pulled, and 12 pulled
Yeah.
according to Estrella. So
That's true.
yeah.
Estrella, what do you think? Is Sue going to win this tournament?
I
He did beat
think it's
you.
unlikely.
Oh, okay.
No,
Yeah,
I actually believe it or not, I actually think Sue will win Blizzcon, not this tournament. Blizzcon.
Oh Jesus!
Really?
Yeah, not this one. I mean,
Is he in like super good shape right now?
No, I used to think he will win. I have a like foreseen. I think he actually is going to win Blizzcon.
Is he in particularly good shape? Well, no.
Well, I don't know. Like,
So why would he win BlizzCon? I'm so confused.
I feel he's gonna win BlizzCon. Use my
It's
feeling.
just your feeling?
Use my feeling.
Special.
practice with him at
I'm a Pisces. Like, do you know what's in my future too? Like, I gotta get in on this prediction stuff.
I only know that Sue is gonna win BlizzCon. That's it.
0 chance.
Does
Okay.
anyone think Impact will beat Sue?
It's
Yes.
possible.
Yeah.
It's definitely possible. I mean,
I would. This one's actually harder to predict than the last one. I think. Like it could go really one-sided too. Is that the funny thing? Like Sue could just 3-0 Impact, but it also could just be Impact slapping him with a bunch of stuff too. Like it's really hard to predict this one. Like Impact shows some top tier ZVZs and Sue showed some sub tier ZVZs, and sometimes Sue just has Impact's number because that's how Impact is. Like it's just very hard to predict. Certainly, it would not say the winner of this is the winner of the tournament, though. Holy.
No, that was a meme. But I actually believe Sue will win BlizzCon. That marks my words on that one.
all right. I'm excited to hear that. It's a bold prediction.
Well, no,
like
you would be excited to hear that if you're like, oh yeah, Sue's in great shape. He's been practicing all the time or something. But he's just like, oh yeah, someone spoke to me in a dream or something. So it's
Life
not
is
exciting.
mysterious like that. Well, you wait until he's right. The last time we had a bold prediction on this show, Rabbit
I
is
say
completely
something
correct.
similar about Alkatowicz, and look at that, he won.
Yeah, but I know when to rein my bold predictions in. Like if this show is hosted by Nebuchadnezzar, then I think Special's Vision in a Dream might be more relevant, but it's just Artosis.
How do you know I'm not Nebuchadnezzar?
Well, you look very Egyptian, Dan.
That's racist, Rapid.
That was pretty racist.
All right. Moving forward from Sue Impact, going down to Gumiho Cure. I want to go ahead and say I think that Cure is ridiculously good right now. I love Cure's play.
He's very good.
What do you guys think?
I agree. You maybe like go in and be like, no, he's shit, Dan.
But the thing is, Gumiho plays really strange TVT. So it's like, and Cure is like this normal guy and plays really kind of like innovation, So I think Cure will win, but it's not gonna be that simple as people think. It's gonna be like a 3-1 with close games or 3-2, I think.
Okay. Any other hot takes on the TVT, you non-Terran players?
I don't know much about it, but whenever I play Gumiho, he's got sick builds. I've got bopped by him every tournament I played him. I'm like 0-5 versus him.
How important is this for Gumiho, and how important is this for Cure?
Cure, it does not matter. If Gumiho loses, he's not going to BlizzCon.
Okay.
In fact, he has to get top 2 to get a chance, basically.
The funny thing is, like, Cure has been practicing a lot against her. I play with him. He played with TY. He played with Maru. He played with Innovation. Like, he wants to win, so.
Yeah, I would say if Gumiho knows there's that much on the line, then probably, I would never underestimate him when he's like practiced and focused. But my illegal analysis is that they've like traded games back and forth this year. They've played, I think, 6 times this year, and they just go back and forth and back and forth. It's always really close. So maybe that means it's going to be a good series. I don't know, but they have it as 70% predicting Cure to beat Gumiho, which is
that's so much.
Whoa,
that's really stupid. I don't know honestly how that's possible.
I want to remind you guys.
I think
that would happen.
I think It depends because it's hard to practice for Gumiho, right? Like you're saying he's
Yeah.
practicing with all these Terrans, but honestly, none of them really play like Gumiho.
I try to copy as much, but it's quite complicated. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think Gumiho, knowing how much is riding on it, it could be a really hit or miss here, where he comes up with some crazy thing that just like demolishes Kier, right? Or he
Yeah,
come
it's
up with
possible.
something that he thinks is really good, and then it just gets completely bopped by Kier as well.
That's also possible.
So this again is like really hard to predict, but I would predict Kier probably just because he's more standard, and I think percentage-wise, it makes more sense to call him. But at the same time, I would
Yeah,
not
but
be surprised at all if Gumiho just wins.
Also, want to remember, Gumiho got to the final of the last Super Tournament.
Mm.
So
Through that Protoss bracket, that was crazy.
Yeah.
he's a good
But
player.
yeah, and he
obviously.
brought something out with that, right? Like that was something we weren't
Yeah,
really
he
expecting
did
from
like
him.
some weird stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So like I would love to see Gumiho go through it. I prefer him to, just because I think it brings more interest in the matches.
Oh, I don't know. I think if
But
Gumi-
we'll see.
I think if Cure advances, he has more chances to go the deeper than Gumiho. That's just my
You?
opinion.
Well,
Think Kier
Gumiho,
versus Sue is better, or Gumiho versus Sue?
I think Cure is better in general.
yeah, and I believe that Gumiho needs minimum of second place to have any shot at BlizzCon. So that's, I guess we'll see in a few hours.
Yeah, I'm excited actually for that match.
Yeah, that should be a good TVT, I think, overall. I like both their TVTs. Okay, jumping down to the other side of the bracket. First, we have Solar versus Parting. These are the two lowest ranked players that still have shots at BlizzCon. Obviously, whoever loses is instantly out. And again, they need to make top two to even have a chance. So Solar versus Parting. Obviously, Solar's been like really high on the ladder. He's been playing really well. He won the qualifier for the Australian tournament. He's been crushing it in Lima leagues. He's been playing pretty well in GSL overall. What do you guys think about Solar Parting here?
It's actually a great matchup, I think. I think Parting is the best PvC player we have right now.
Really?
Really?
Yes, he's insanely good PvC. And Solar is the best, one of the best CVPs too that we have right now.
Damn.
That's strong. Estrella, I need to hear what you think about as far as his PvZ.
I would agree with that actually. I think he's top 2 PvZ right now.
With who?
I don't know the other player. Maybe Hero. I think Hero's PvZ is also really good.
Oh, sick.
That
But what
Protoss
are
that
you guys
plays
think about
Strange,
Classic?
Protoss that plays Strange against Zerg are the ones that do the best, I think. You know?
Parting's been doing a lot of Colossus time. He's one of the few Zerg Protosses I've seen be successful recently with a lot of Colossus timings and cannon rushes and weird stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. That's actually very interesting and very exciting that you say it's probably Parting and Hero, because these are people that pop to mind that when shit is bad for Protoss, they start leading. Do you know what I mean? And when things are fine for Protoss, it's like it's like
Stabs.
nest and stats, and
Yep.
you know, there's like two different sets of Protoss players, and these guys are like Protoss Batman, and the other ones are like, you know, Protoss police officers or something, right? That's the difference. Yeah.
If you think about him, Parting is like an SOS with better mechanics, you know? Like he's very smart the way he plays. And it's really like out of the box. But he has better mechanics than SOS. So
yeah.
I don't know. I feel it's like quite scary to play against him in tournaments.
That's
that
cool.
being said, I don't know if he has that much confidence versus Zerg himself, because when I talk to him, it seems like he has trouble against Zerg. But when I watch his results in his play, I'm impressed.
He always says that. Believe me.
Yeah, he always says that.
Okay. I
It's
didn't know
kinda like
I think it's gonna be fun regardless. I don't know who's gonna win, but I think Parting is gonna be a good match regardless.
I'm a little scared because it can be really fun, but it also could just be like a shutdown cannon rush and
That
then
also
like
could be
a
terrible.
shutdown like whatever, and then it's a 3-0 and it looks terrible. But I'm hoping that it isn't like that.
Can I say I know Zergs have been complaining about cannon rush for a while, but I haven't seen a cannon rush. I haven't seen it work in quite a while.
Max, why you don't tell them the story about me teaching the defense to certain things?
You can tell it, Juan.
You know, Artosis?
Yeah.
There was this cannon rush going on. I took a look at it. 1 minute later, I found the answer. Astra tried to do it, didn't work anymore. Right, Astra?
You could say that.
He didn't find the answer. His
What?
answer
I did
was to
find the
pull
answer.
all the drones and just focus.
You pull the drones and follow the probes. That's it.
With
And
all
then-
of your
okay,
drones, follow the
guess
probe.
what happened, Artosis? We saw Cess do cannon rush against Rogue, and he pulled the drones to kill the probe. That's what happened.
That is true.
Artosis,
That is true. I saw that game.
Artosis, have you ever seen a Zerg pull drones to kill a cannon rush ever?
No, before that.
Well,
There you go.
okay, so
Never
to
seen
be
it.
fair, a lot of times I'll see like a few drones go down, decide they can't do it, and then turn around.
Yeah, no, you have to pull a lot. A lot.
Yeah, it's
Nobody's ever
Yeah.
done this, by the way, guys.
By the way, I like this.
Reinventing
I feel
Zerg,
like I'm a judge,
true.
and you guys are a bunch of bad lawyers bringing me your cases. This is amazing.
No, it's true. Like Asher can vouch. Like it's true.
It's worked the last 2 times I've seen it, specifically versus the high ground cannon rush they put in the main.
Yeah.
Which
I don't
nobody
know
does.
about like a low ground cannon rush if it would work or not, but versus their
I
high
don't know,
ground cannon
use
rush,
the
it seems
thing I
really
saw.
good.
Yeah.
Okay, anyways.
Well, we'll see how many cannon rushes Parting tries to bring out. I'm sure he'll have a plan
Have a
for
list
it.
one, I think.
I think
Actually,
0. My prediction is 0.
I think
Zero.
everyone's gonna cannon rush at least once. Like every PVC.
Really?
Yeah, I think even Stat's gonna
At
take a cannon
least
rush.
one cannon rush, I think.
That makes sense.
Can I
You
boldly
got to
predict?
get a little bit luck. Yeah, please.
Can I boldly predict that no cannon rushes will work for Zerg this tournament?
None. 0
That's
wins with cannon
terrible.
rush.
0. That's my bold
And-
prediction.
What do we mean? Game victory, or do we
Game
mean
victory, game
killing the
victory.
hatchery?
Game
Okay.
victory.
Okay. No game victories off cannon rushes. I'm excited to see.
Somebody's gonna keep a
could
list
be.
of.
Does
these
that count for
hot
PvP
takes.
as well? Because we have a PvP.
Will you eat a shoe?
I won't eat a shoe. I'll buy everyone in this call a milk tea when I meet them.
Ooh,
Oh, sick!
Hell yeah.
Damn. I'll take that bet. I
That's a good
don't. I
deal
don't
for
care
me.
what you bet. If you're betting a milk tea on the line, I will make it happen.
Wait, does that mean that all of us have to buy you a milk tea when we meet you?
I think everyone should bet something and offer a milk
All
tea.
right, I'll take that. I'll buy you
Yeah.
a milk tea.
I'll
Wait,
do a
what's
milk tea bet.
what's the deal? What's the deal?
Yeah, that's
If
fine.
not a single
No,
cannon
no
rush
wins.
works.
Yeah, no wins from, but game win. Like it can kill the hatchery, but they don't win the game.
Yeah. It's all about the game win.
Okay.
Not one time in the whole tournament, I'm
So
gonna
if
take.
that doesn't work, you give me a
Versus
milk,
drink?
Zerg specifically.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. I'll take that.
Yeah.
Any chance I can get a milk tea, I'm going for it.
They're
That means
expensive
you
in
have to
Korea.
buy
Well, we
a
only
milk
have-
tea rapid.
We have 2 PVZs to open, and they have to win to, and then another Zerg has to win on the other side, which is,
I don't remember ever seeing Stats cannon rush either.
No,
Versus
he will.
Zerg.
I'm pretty sure he will.
When's
No,
it-
no, he did
I can't
against
remember
Rogue.
him cannon rushing.
He did against
think-
Rogue.
I
in
think
round of
Milk
16.
Tea, did he?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, he
On
did.
Acropolis.
It looked really bad though.
I think
Hey, look-
Parting will do 1 cannon rush.
And it's gonna work. That's my
And it's not
prediction.
gonna work.
I believe. I'm all in on my milk tea bet, but I
Alright.
could consider that working. Parting's my hope. I have to believe in him so that Estrella has to buy me boba.
I'd be down to have Boba with you, Rapid.
I want Boba too.
Me too.
So, I kind of agree with the idea that the Parting Solar thing, it could be like Solar 3-0's Parting, but it could also be a 3-2 for Parting. Even- what do you guys where are you standing score wise?
They played like a week ago, in the team league. It was an important match too for City.
Yeah.
And it was 1-1. And like he won the macro game and he lost the cannon rush game. So
Oh, Estrella's gonna be getting milk teas. He knows. He knows. That's crazy then. So there's a little meta between them already.
yeah.
That's
Not even,
crazy
it
that he
was
won the
like 2 days
macro.
ago. Yeah, 2 days ago.
That's very exciting though, that Parting is like maybe best or second best PVZ right now. That just
He's
kind
very
of
good.
gives me chills that he is back to that level already, because he's got such a sick personality and everything too. And like I like this idea of certain Protosses coming up when stuff's against Protoss. It's really cool.
I think
yeah. Go ahead.
Parting will come into this, I think, very well prepared with some very interesting builds, which is why his PVZ is so cool right now. I think he'll have good builds for each map.
Yeah.
agree.
So just somebody mentioning that Parting recently just got back from the hospital. He checked himself in for his shoulder and his wrist. So there's a little bit of that going on. I think he's actually okay, but he has been having like some pain and difficulty there. So, just throwing that out there.
I think he's fine. I see him practice. Come on. I
Yeah,
saw him play yesterday.
Special's diagnosed him as fine after.
I mean,
Doc
if you're not fine,
Special.
if you're not fine, you're not practicing, right? So there's that.
All I'm trying to say is that I know lots of people. Never mind. Whew.
Wait,
Wow.
I'm really okay. So the next one, I think is going to be really interesting to hear Juan
Yeah.
talk.
Okay, wait.
No.
Okay, so I actually still don't understand what your guys' opinions are on the actual victor of Solar Parting. Who's going to win
Yeah,
that?
everybody hopes Parting wins.
Everyone hopes Parting wins. What do you think will
I-
happen?
I hope Solar wins because my better friend, but I think Parting will win.
Okay.
I think Solar will win.
I think Parting 3-2.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll go with that. Party 3-2. That sounds good.
Okay.
That looks to me like it might be one of the better matches. But
it's gonna be good, I think.
Yeah. The match that might be the best here, because I think that it is very exciting. Ragnarok against TY.
Ooh.
Again, both of these guys still have potential to make BlizzCon. Whoever loses is out. The other one has to go very, very far, like at least top 2, with certain other things happening as well. Ragnarok, obviously, he did very well in this past GSL season, had a sick series against Maru that he ended up losing. Maru was playing just fantastically. What are you guys thinking about Ragnarok TY?
My philosophy is to never bet against TY. I feel like I will always have a positive win rate with that. Like, I mean, I know TY is like casting and stuff, but like, come on, like he's so good. And like Ragnarok, like he's also very good. I could definitely see Ragnarok making it to like top 8, top 4 maybe, but not if he has to play TY. So there you go.
Wait, Juan, let's hear it, boy.
I want to hear your guys' thoughts first.
No, I want to hear your thoughts.
Well, let's hear Astra's thoughts there.
Well, I was
okay.
I mean, we met up with TY once, and he said he wasn't practicing. But has he been practicing one?
No, that's not true. He lied about it.
Oh, he lied about that?
Yeah, I know his account. That's just bullshit.
Oh, okay. I believe in TY then.
Yeah. Okay, so I think if Ragnarok cleans up just a couple small things strategically that he did poorly against Maru, that he can beat TY here, like a 3-2 or so. But TY is like, TY and Rogue are the people that I make a living just saying that they're going to win all their matches. So yeah, I don't know. I'm a little bit torn. The current state of balance makes me think Ragnarok, but TY I gotta stand by, I guess.
I think Ragnarok's gonna get it.
Ragnarok is gonna win 3-0, I think.
3-0.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
I wouldn't say 3-0 though.
What do you say?
I think TY takes at least one game. Like
yeah, it's hard to stop TY from winning any games. That seems difficult.
The problem is that he really hates TVC right now. Really, really hates it with a passion, you know?
Yeah, that. So he's gonna get 3-0 because he hates TVZ?
No, and Ragnarok is very good via Stern. He's probably same level as Rogue, maybe.
What?
Very, very similar.
Wow.
Yeah.
You got to watch that Ragnarok Maru series. It was crazy. But yeah, the thing is, he has like a few small decision-making errors, I feel like, with his play.
Like mechanical wise, he's probably, you know, it's like mechanical wise, it's like Azu. Like Azu is definitely the best mechanical player in CVT that there is. Like there's no one that's better than him. But he has like little genius ideas from Rogue too. So it's very, very hard. But Rogue is like better, even more genius play, but also good mechanics. Ragnar is like a mix of both, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So he's very, very hard to beat.
I think I pretty much agree with that. Like Sue is a little bit better mechanically, but Ragnarok's mechanics are really standing out lately. And then it's just if his decision making was a little bit better on his engagements and stuff, and he switched his tech a little bit cleaner, I think he'd just be ridiculously strong.
Yeah. Just cool. I think Ragnarok will win.
Damn, 3-0 though.
I don't know about 3-0, but he will win.
It's not gonna be 3-0. Even he's backing up now. He's backpedaled.
I think it's gonna be 3-0, but it could be 3-1 or 3-2. But I think
it could also be 3-3.
Yeah, with a tie.
Yeah.
Well, if TY and Sue both win, that means we get SOS probably commentating on day 3.
Now this is the big one, Dan. This is the big one here.
You know what's funny? They all say SOS suck ass as casting.
Poor SOS.
Aww. This is a no bully zone. We're not allowed to hate on SOS.
Poor SOS.
Who's going to win the next one, Dan?
Again.
Come on.
Okay, so Hero against Dream is the other one, the next one. I'm going with Dream here. Dream's ridiculous right now. He's so strong right now. His TVP looks so good right now. What do you guys think here?
Yeah, I watched that in depth. I'm a believer.
Dream's going to bop the shit out of Hero. It's going to bop him. It's going to bop him straight down.
Hero's going to win.
I'll be honest, I heard about Dream's ridiculous run, but I didn't see the game, so I don't really know.
Like he plays good, but he plays way too standard for like a tournament that's like this, so he's going to lose it.
Hero is good at Super Tournament. This is his tournament normally.
I think I kind of tend to underestimate Hero because I think like Trap's style of PvT is the strongest right now. Hero kind of does the weird stuff.
Yeah. You know what he does? He doesn't scout and make a salad and send it to your base.
Yeah, I've seen him do that.
It's really annoying.
Okay. And classic trap. PvP. What's up?
No clue.
Man, every time I vote against Trap, my ratio just goes higher and higher. So it's hard. I know like somewhere very sad Gemini is out there. I'm going to go meet him for lunch later. So if I vote against Trap this time, he's not going to pay. So I have to say Trap.
Okay.
It's an odd reason, but sure.
Hey, he's trying to win double keys and free lunch. I don't
Dude,
blame
I'm
him.
not going to jeopardize my free lunch just for some prediction, man. I gotta get that bread. I have to eat that wheat. You know what I'm saying?
We know what you're saying, bro.
We know what you're saying, yeah.
I get you.
I think classic.
I don't know. Like classic is good in general. It also in super tournament he won the last two, so there's that.
Classic's gonna take it.
I think it really
Artos player here.
It depends on who, like how much Classic has been practicing. Because I heard he hasn't been practicing as much because his motivation's down or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's always never true.
That's always never. Should I never believe it when pro players say that?
Yeah.
If a pro player comes out and self says they're not playing, they're lying.
That's that's a fact. Actually, every time someone advertises that they're not playing, they are playing.
Yeah,
Every time. It's like if you're not playing, you just don't play. If you tell like, I'm not really playing, that means that you're kind of down on yourself and you don't want people to from you.
You know what
but you've got an alt account that has 500 games on it.
Yeah.
Like just think about it. He has to play like Blizzcon in like what 3 weeks. Why the fuck would he not be playing? Makes no sense, you know.
I mean, it doesn't make sense unless he thought he was not going to play.
And
BlizzCon.
even if he wasn't going to play BlizzCon, wouldn't you want to get your last fucking tournament wins before you're military? Like, there's 0% that he's not playing.
The thing with Classic is like I experienced it last year when I had to play in the BlizzCon. It's the hardest one to find on the ladder. As like you actually don't know what account he's playing on. You know
who
Classic. I can never find his account.
Really?
It took me really long time to find his account. Yeah. It's crazy. Really complicated to find his account. Like I actually don't know his account right now. But I don't play him, so I don't care. But like it's really hard to find his account.
Well, I'm going with Trap there. That's an easy call. He's just better right now.
I'm not. I would agree, but I'm not too impressed by Trap's PvP, honestly.
Is that because you beat him?
Partially. I think he's gonna bring some like solid, mostly standard builds with maybe 1 or 2 proxies, but I think Classic's like preparation style might be pretty strong in PvP in particular, as opposed to the other matchups.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, so we've gone through the bracket, but I want to hear from you guys. Like, what do you think the top 4 is looking like? Who's gonna win over who?
Okay, so let me open the bracket.
The first 2 matches, like the top 4 in the bracket, the first 4 people in the bracket are so hard.
Yeah.
It's like
Rogue Stats, Dark Maru. That's a pretty good lineup.
That's like a GSL top 4, like a BlizzCon top 4. That's like that's insane. It's like the bracket is so like lopsided. It's top heavy. Like, I mean, nothing against like the players in the bottom half of the bracket, but like if you just count total GSL titles, I think there's like not that many on the bottom side, and top is just like it's so.
What do I need to predict? The top 4?
Yeah, top 4.
Yeah, what's the top 4, and then who's winning against who in the finals?
So we have to pick one player out of Rogue, Stats, Stark, and Maru.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Rogue.
Maru.
I'd say maybe I don't know, Dark or Rogue. Betting on Zerg players is hot right now.
Yeah.
What?
It is hot right now.
I want to believe in Stats, but I really don't think he can make it to the top
I think
4.
if Maru beats Dark, Maru's going to beat Rogue.
No. Why?
Yeah, that's
they
what I
play
think.
completely different.
Because I think, well, first off, Maru's a god. Okay, if
he's
Dark doesn't bop Maru, then Maru doesn't get bopped. Okay.
What do you mean? I think Rogue is better than
You know what?
Dark.
I'm going to take the bold prediction. I think Maru wins the tournament.
Whoa!
And I think Terran is Imba. No, I'm just
you wanna eat a shoe on that one or something?
Got him.
I do think Maru can get in the top 4 though. For sure.
Okay, that's fine to think. I just think Rogue is gonna be top 4.
I'll pick a Rogue also.
Ooh, I can't wait for someone to be buying somebody milk teas.
That's about the cannon rush. What?
Oh wait, what? It's not every prediction
I'm
ever.
down for another milk tea bet. I will take an unlimited number of these.
Oof.
What about
Okay,
you,
so
Artosis? Who?
I'm hearing a lot of rogues. I would definitely go with rogue, making it to the top 4 there.
So
What about this
3
next little section of the bracket?
Wait, so
That's
I'm
a
the only
soup for
Maru?
me.
Everyone's rogue except
With
for
3
me?
rogues. Well, what is rapid? What are you rapid? You're a rogue too?
I'd say probably dark. Dark's
Okay.
the-
Dark.
Yeah.
Dark.
No,
Who are you? Dark.
It's possible. Just I think dark CBC
Yeah.
is not as good as rogue probably.
Yeah, for sure.
What kind of a call is this, Dark?
I think Dark or Maru.
Okay. So now we
Okay.
go to the next segment.
Yeah. So Dark's one of the players, at least that I think, out of the next 4 players, I'd say like
Sue, Impact, Gumiho, Kira, the next 4.
I don't know. I don't really know how to qualify Impact right now because we had a kind of a split decision on his series versus Sue. I don't know how far my man Kira is going, but I think like just because I really want Gumiho to do well so that he makes it to BlizzCon, I really want Gumiho to make it out.
I feel like Gumiho has to win a hard match already against Cure.
Yeah.
And then Impact has to beat Sue for Gumiho to make top 4. So
Yeah,
I am not
100%.
calling a Gumiho top 4.
Yeah.
Actually, I
Gumiho
think
is not beating Sue. It is not.
Impact is favored against Gumiho, man.
Yeah,
He always
You
beat
think,
him,
you think
always.
you think so?
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like Impact against.
Yeah,
Zest.
he'll probably Ravager Rush against 2 and be like, oh, okay. maybe.
What a meme. Yeah, I would say probably Sue out of that group of 4. Realistically,
think-
that's my head vote.
I think you're.
I'll pick Kier just because of how well Jin Green Wings players have been doing recently.
Kira's not a bad choice, I think. Kira's
I think
really good right
I really
now.
think it's between Cure and Sue, but I think you're gonna make
me
it.
too.
I'll go with Kira. That gives us 2 Terrans in the top 4.
No, it's actually. we are.
Isn't that a 4 Terran top 4?
It
Or a
actually gives
BlizzCon
us,
patch.
it
Oh.
gives us 1 Zerg and 1 Terran. Most likely, because it could be a Zerg.
Yeah, I'm going Rogue and Sue on that side of the bracket,
Yeah.
guys. That's,
So there's a CVC.
Yeah.
Maru
Nice.
Kira for sure.
No.
Maru's
For
getting
sure.
through. Maru wants to not be. Maru wants something. I mean, he's gonna win. There's no question.
Okay.
Okay, jump into the next match.
thing.
Solar Parting and Ragnarok TY. Who makes the top 4 out of those?
Ragnarok.
Ooh.
I think that's a pretty decent bet, actually.
I think Solar.
Because I think Ragnarok, well,
That's not a bet. It's a good bet.
if Solar beats Parting, I think he'll make it. But if
Yeah.
wow, yeah, no, I just keep picking Zergs. There's something wrong with my brain. I'm like, yeah, it's one of those two. It's one of those two.
I don't know. My heart says Parting, but my brain probably says like I don't know Ragnarok TY. I really want TY to do super well, but obviously he's been kind of pulled in a bunch of different directions.
No. He plays. That's
Dang,
all.
the score
Okay.
between Ragnarok and Solar is 34 and 29. They're so close.
Yeah.
What?
actually.
Oh my
in
god.
favor
He
of
won like
Solar.
last time. Yeah, it's close.
Yeah, it's really close. Oligulac predicts 55% for Solar.
Yeah, that's pretty close. So wait, Estrella, who do you have coming out of that 4?
My heart says my sugar bear parting.
Aw. I'll go with a Parting bet.
My
Okay.
brain says maybe Ragnarok
Hmm.
or someone else.
Or
So-
someone else. Thanks for being on the show, Estrella. We appreciate your predictions.
You're welcome.
So I'm going to say that, you know, in the previous round, I was saying TY would beat Ragnarok, and now I'm going to say Ragnarok's going to be top 4. So that's my prediction.
That's funny.
I'm hedging bets here. Juan,
If you were
who'd you say,
playing
Ragnarok?
roulette,
Yeah, I say Ragnarok.
What'd you say, Rapid?
okay. I said if you were playing roulette, you'd do one of those like quarter bets. Like if you could find a way to split your one ship between like 16 different like possible outcomes, that would be you.
Yes, I do lots of those bets on roulette.
The dealer hands you a chip and you like take out a pair of scissors and you like cut the chip into like 25 different slices.
Just put it through a blender and shoot it all over the table. Then the zeros hit, and I'm like, oh, okay. All right, in the last segment of the bracket, Hero Dream, Classic Trap.
Dream it is, boys.
Dream, let's
No.
do it.
Dream it is.
I'm down.
Dream it is. 3
Yeah.
turns in the round of 4. Let's go.
You know, it's gonna be funny when it's the opposite thing. You know, it's 3 Zergs in the round of 4.
No, it's
Yeah,
good.
no, that's what I'm saying. I think it's gonna be Dream, Ragnarok, Sue, Rogue.
Do you really think Dream will beat Trap if they play?
Yeah.
Dream is the Protoss killer. Didn't Dream actually kill Trap? We watched him. We watched him.
That's fucking Olimoli. Who
Yeah,
gives a shit
that's
about
different.
Olimoli?
Trap was he was practicing for Maru. Okay. And
Yeah, sure.
You watched him try it really hard. Me and Dan were watching him try really hard.
Insanely hard.
It wasn't good enough for Dream. It's just not, He just wasn't good enough.
Then he went out like 2 days after and win Maru 4-1.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He was better than Maru.
Maru needs to start studying Dream replays. Okay. Dream is winning a GSL next year.
The best TV people are Cure. It's not even Dream. So there's that.
I love Cure, man. We already been over this.
I would say he's an easy second best.
No.
Right. I think a bunch of you cowards are just going to say like Trapper Classic, right?
I think Hero actually. Hero.
Wow. I'll pick Classic.
I'd say Dream. I don't know. You guys got me. That was like one of the better in-depth episodes. You really sold me on the hype train.
Yeah, I'm going with Dream. You guys are dumb.
All right. We got our top 4. Who's the champion?
Oof.
This is easy. It's Rogue. Okay.
Yeah, I could say like Rogue Sue maybe.
This is a Maru's the champion.
Ragnarok.
Maru winning a tournament.
Ooh, imagine that.
Ragnarok. Did you pick Ragnarok? That's surprising.
Yes, Ragnarok.
Wow. Interesting. I'll pick Trap, even though I picked Classic for the for the rest.
That's the way to do it. That's the way to do it.
You're just giving out free milk teas everywhere, man.
This is hedging bets everywhere. I love it.
All I know is if we get another CBC final, I'm gonna be super disappointed.
That would be
It's not going to be a CVC.
I want a Dream Rogue finals. And then I want somehow.
Wait. Can we address something
Rogue.
on the chat? Risky saying Ragnarok can't win CBC. Pretty sure he could beat you. With the left hand,
I agree with that.
Fuck
That's
you,
my
Risky.
prediction.
Unnecessary shade.
Oh God. I'm so glad that you woke up by accident today, Juan.
Yes.
All right. Okay, wait. So who's the champion? Rapid. Who wins?
Who wins?
Yeah.
I don't know. Rogue, maybe. Yeah, I think that's pretty likely.
Wow, thanks for that really strong prediction. Unlike last week.
Hot take right there.
No regret. Who wins?
Maru.
Who wins?
I'll go with Trap.
Trap. Okay. Wow. Look at that. We got 3 different races. You're the tiebreaker, Juan. Who wins?
Ragnarok.
Ooh.
Well, these are some different predictions, and
Whoa,
you're
whoa,
all
whoa.
wrong. It's going to be Rogue.
Okay. Wait,
Well,
what do you
so
mean
you
they're
would
all
wrap it
wrong? I
around.
literally picked Rogue.
No, you picked it because you knew Dan was going to pick it, though. So.
Oh, clearly. Okay.
That or a Legulac.
But Rogue 4-0. Okay. There you go, Rapid. I just want you to like me.
Nice.
Okay. A good chat about the Super Tournament. Of course, that is starting tonight in like 5 hours, I think. I think we go live in 5 hours with that. So
Casted by
definitely
our
check it out.
favorite GSL casters.
No, it's actually me and Nick casting.
Oh,
shit. Okay. That'll be going on for the next 4 days. I believe it starts 5 p.m. KST each day. I do believe so. Okay. That does it for GSL Super Tournament review / predictions. And we have one other little topic here to talk about, and that is Rogue's GSL victory, the 4-0 over Trap. And specifically, he gave an interview afterwards. And Rogue said, via Wax Angel here on the Daily Esports website, he said, I think Stats is a Protoss player who is best at late game PvZ, but even he crumbles against Zerg in the late game. There's no way for Protoss to win after you mass infestors. I think Zerg needs to be nerfed, and not just because I won this championship, but after BlizzCon, I hope.
After BlizzCon, Why do you want it after BlizzCon?
Well, because that's a lot of money.
What do you mean? Yeah.
He also went on to say, Rogue also admitted to barely practicing for his round of 16 group, having lost some of his interest and sense of enjoyment for the game.
Yeah,
but after advancing from the group of death, despite his lack of practice, he realized, quote, the Zerg race is really empowered right now, and the maps are really good for Zerg. And began to practice in earnest. When asked if he had any words for Trap, Rogue said, "Trap prepared really hard. I won because balance really favors Zerg. I think he'll feel bad about this one." Regarding
Here's what it is. I got it.
Hold on. Jesus. Regarding Cyril, Rogue said, "I've faced him in international tournaments, and I think he's truly a great Zerg player. But I don't think I'm lacking in late game macro play, and I think he won't measure up if we play late game macro." Okay, discuss.
Does he remember what happened to him last BlizzCon in late game macro?
What do you mean? That was
So
an
here's
insanely
what
close
actually
game.
happens. Rogue is switching to Protoss. He's putting all of his money on the nerf Zerg train, right? So he's going really hard. He's going to win the championships, right? And then as soon as BlizzCon finishes, Rogue's playing Protoss. Zerg goes to the ground. Protoss comes up, and then Rogue wins with Protoss, and then says the same thing, and then goes back to Zerg. That's my prediction.
No.
Yeah, I'll go with the no on that.
I mean,
He's
I
literally
agree with
trolling.
him, but I think he's going a little bit too
You
hard.
know what's funny, Dan? So I messaged him, "Oh, congratulations for 0." And you know the first thing he say?
What?
Derek Imba.
How could I have guessed?
Like, what the hell, man? Never seen someone so honest about the race being completely a joke.
I think he's memeing a bit.
Man,
Nah,
Also,
he's not, man.
He self-admitted that he doesn't practice, which we already know what that means.
No, that's fucking bullshit. But
Yeah, you can't self-admit that you don't practice.
Estrella, what do you think about
But it's
his
not only
victory
him, man.
this
I
interview?
asked Solar, I asked Ragnarok. They all say
Yeah?
Sergis OP, man.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes, only people with no soul say the other soul.
Like Sasha?
Yes.
Wait, Katz has a good point. Rogue says Zerg's overpowered, but he also says Sarah won't measure up to him in a late game. So
That's
true.
I mean,
Sarah's just
why are you guys
her-
trying to? That's not the important part of the interview.
Yeah, well, the important part of the interview is clearly he's just mad.
Mad about what? He just won.
No, like he's just insane.
Ah. No. I mean, he's a little crazy, yes, but
I think Zerg is strong right now, not unbeatable. I don't know if I'd go so far as to say it's OP, but it's very strong.
Yeah, I think it's strong as well. I don't think it's overpowered though.
So it won all the WCS stops.
Well, that Sarah won all the
yeah.
The last two
It's
GSLs.
WCS. Come on.
Like there's a couple of like big flaws in like the whole like, hey, let's check the color of the player that
wait. I am tired of this bullshit. You think if Sarah played Terran, he will win every WCS? Because I guarantee you, he will not.
He might.
No, he wouldn't. He wouldn't. I guarantee you, he wouldn't.
No, I'm with Juan on this
I
one.
think he would.
No.
What?
I
Wait, do you
don't
think if
think he
Mara
would.
played Zerg, he would do better?
In the GSL, no, because the GSL favors the Terran, like the Terran.
Would he do better in the
race.
WCS?
yeah.
If he was playing
If-
Zerg, Maru.
Probably, yeah.
You think so? You think
He would
Maru
do-
would do better in WCS?
I think Zero and Mario are around the same skill. Yeah.
There's like no good Terran players in WCS. Wouldn't he do way better in
What do you mean?
WCS?
I'm there.
Yeah, so there's no good Terran players.
I mean, you
Line
talking
yourself up
about,
for that one.
I'm
you
kidding.
you
It's a
talking
joke.
about skill is
It's a
quite
joke.
funny,
I'm a
no?
commentator. It's a joke.
Okay, I'm just saying.
I think you two need to fight. I think that's the only way to do this. Okay, so hold on. Where are we in this conversation right now? So who's trying to say that Sarah would have won all the WCS spots as a Terran?
Juan.
I'd say no. I say he
Wait,
wouldn't
no.
win.
No, you just said that.
I am.
You say he would.
Do you actually think that, or are you just trolling right now?
Okay, I might be trolling a little bit, but
Okay.
he's still pretty good. I don't think
no one
I
saying
don't think
he's not
Cyril
good.
is carried
Yeah.
by his race in WCS.
No, I think it's the least one carried by his race
Yeah,
from the
that's my
foreigner
point.
scene. From the foreigner scene. 'cause
Yeah, from the foreigner scene for sure. I think what Jake is trying to do is to like distill the amount of contribution of like talent versus like the race that you play, and I don't think anybody is going to argue that like Cyril is one of the most talented players
No,
like,
he's
just,
insanely
like
good.
in the world for everything. Like that guy's insane. You can never take that away from him.
Yeah.
But then what people are trying to do is say, well, is he so talented? Is he more talented than one race is broken? In double
And
quotes.
it's yes. The
Yeah, and
answer.
so Jake is arguing that the percentage contribution between race and talent. I know talent is like versus hard work is another discussion, but I think Jake is trying to argue that like Serral is more broken than the balance of StarCraft is broken. I'm very compelled to believe in that because Serral is just so good, but I think that there's too many like random hypotheticals in there because he plays WCS circuit, not GSL. There's different formats, there's different timings. I don't know. Also, like the races just play differently, so like I think that's probably what you have to take into account more than individual like player skill.
That's a good point. Like Terran,
I don't think Serral is carried by his race. That is my
I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think anybody thinks Serral's carried by his race.
Well, whoever thinks that's just dumb.
Well, you also think that if he switched races, he would be doing poorly.
No, nobody thinks he would be doing poorly. I don't think he would win every tournament.
I say he would be doing worse, which is true.
Okay.
I think he'd be doing a little
well,
bit
you'd
worse.
have to keep 100% wins, basically, right? Like you'd have to, or very close to
he didn't win every single WCS this year.
But you get my point. Like, I mean, to keep that type of consistency is very, very difficult. We've literally never seen a Protoss keep that type of consistency ever anywhere. Trap was the first back-to-back GSL finalist for Protoss, by the way, just to throw that just finally happened after many, many years. Obviously, Maru did it with Terran in GSL, so that's huge. But Zerg has shown more stability as a race with its top players than, like, Protoss has shown the least stability as a top race for top players, and then Zerg has shown the most, I would say, with Terran in between, probably.
Well, the thing with Terran is it's only Maru, so actually only one player.
Well,
like,
we had in the
multiple
past
players.
we had lots of stability. We had stability out of Innovation and MVP, right?
Yeah, it was only Terrans in the past.
Like, what's the point of talking like years and years ago? You know?
I don't. But if it was Zergs, he'd be like, Zergs have been winning since 2010.
No, there was Zerg stability back then as well, like Nesty, for instance.
My man Nesty.
I know. I mean, we had an Nesty's not really the same as MVP though.
We've literally never had Protoss stability. We just Protosses don't do two tournaments in a row.
I think MC was pretty stable for a while. Like he was always getting top fours, but I think he was anomalous, and the balance was so bad back then. Like, what do you can't really compare.
I guess we had Neeb in 2017.
That's true.
Yeah, that was.
Pretty
I
good.
guess that was the most stable Protoss that we've ever had. Was Neeb in 2017. That's a
good point.
I mean, Neeb is still pretty stable too. He just doesn't win everything. So
yeah. Well, everyone is kind of stable. Like the whole top 8 of WCS is basically stable. Like Juan is always at the top, and Showtime's always up at the top, and Brain is always at the
He's
top.
rank 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. He's always at the top.
Okay. So
we moved away from.
Yeah.
No, we were talking about the Zerg Balance.
This needs to go back to Zerg Balance.
Yeah, what the fuck? Where are we going?
We all agreed that Zerg is a little bit imbalanced, but not like it's not unplayable.
I don't know if we.
The problem more than the race is the fucking maps being so shit. If the maps were okay, I could see like you can still win in like have more chances. But this map is so bad, so bad.
If the Infestor was worse, would we all be saying Zerg is imbalanced?
Yes, because the maps, not because the actual race.
What?
Yeah. So there's 3 contributing factors. There's like the player, how good is the player? There's the race, and how broken is the race? And there's the map pool. It's like how much is that? What do you think has the biggest impact on whether or not you win the game? The race, the map, or the player?
No. Right now, at this moment,
that's a good way to look at it.
The maps, probably the maps, and I'm not even kidding. The maps.
So you think the maps are more imbalanced than Zerg?
Yes. Because they're bad against Protoss as well,
What specifically about the maps is making them so imbalanced?
Well, they're so big, they're wide open. There's like no, I don't know how to explain. Like you don't want to play mech in this patch, and the maps are so big, so playing by is quite hard already. And I don't know, I just feel like the maps are not good at all.
I think at least for PvZ, it kind of cuts out all that immortal stuff or the robo facility plays that we had in the last map pool, because none of the maps are as big as before. Like there's no Kairos, no Cyber Forest anymore to go for these robo builds.
Oh, Thunderbird.
Thunderbird for robo builds?
Yeah. YOLO.
Questionable.
What if we build our robo in the wall and we go in 3, like really quick 3 next high? Build immortals.
You can try that. I don't know.
Sounds good to me.
Sick build, Jake.
Like my problem is like every map we always had like some small maps, you know, like I don't know, Kairos or New Repugnancy or Turbo. With this one, we don't have any. They all fucking huge, all of them.
So would you rather, Juan, let's say you're in charge. You either get to shrink the maps a little bit or do a balance patch.
Well,
which would you prefer?
For BlizzCon, just the maps. You can't really balance change, right?
Yeah, no, I'm talking about after BlizzCon because I don't think anything changed before.
I think Zerg still OP regardless of the maps. But the maps really play a huge factor right now, like right this second.
Yeah.
Like I will change the way Nidus work, for example, for sure.
Okay.
That's fair.
Anything else? Just that? What is it about Nidus, actually? Let's dive into that for a second.
Okay, for like Nidus, the cost is too cheap. And what's really triggering is like, let's say you throw a Nidus and you kill it, they can instantly put another one. There's like no cooldown, you know? I think that's fucking bullshit.
Okay. Yeah, also, the notification happens at the end, not at the beginning. So that's like...
No, I think that's not a problem. That's just you looking at the minimap. That's not a thing. But what really is like when you kill.
Imagine every time you place a Nidus and went, and then like 30 seconds later, it then blew up again. Like I don't know.
But like what I said about that, like when you kill a Nidus or you kill anyone it's building, you can instantly kill another one. That there should be like a cooldown. There's no way you should be able to do that. It should be more expensive probably too, and it should probably. The unit should come out slower. Like they come way too fast. Like they literally.
I agree with that. That's
StarCraft 1 Nidus. What the fuck?
Wait, so I said that I thought returning into the Nidus shouldn't have been so fast. That way, when people like just instantly unload their army, they don't just get to go back in like for free. Like I think it should be a real commitment to actually do it if you want to do it. And it feels like it's not a commitment at all. You just place them willy-nilly, and if they go up, they go up, and you unload your entire army. And then by the time the Terran or anybody is here to deal with it, they bring their entire army back in. Like
I think it should be like either come out slower or go in slower or something.
Yeah.
And I think also, I don't know, I'm not too qualified to think about PBC, but also something about the infestor, probably the neural. It's a little bit too good, but I'm not sure. I know they're going to do a change after BlizzCon, but I'm not allowed to talk about it. But I usually know they're going to change the game anyway, so there's that.
I actually like encouraging neural. I think neural has a really interesting place in the game, but I think it coupled with other things makes it really broken, you know? Like I think as a mechanic, it seems like it could be a lot of fun, but I don't know.
Yeah, because it's
like,
clearly
is it more imba than a yoink, like a yoinking the unit in and just instantly dying? You know what I mean? Like I don't know. It just feels like a good mechanic eventually if we can find a way to balance around it a bit more. You know what I mean?
I think neural is better than yoinking because it makes my unit do damage to my own unit. You know?
Yeah, what's the fun part of it? It actually has a
place.
It's
fun, but it's
as the Zerg player, it's fun.
Guys, come on.
I mean, I think those are two of the main points. Actually, you know, I brought something up in the Sky chat, quite a wild idea. And I've been wondering, why is Creep Tumor 25 energy? Honestly, why? No, why? It's such a good... It is pretty imba, but don't you think map hack is imba?
Yes, I think map hack is imba.
Like, honestly, why is it 25 energy?
There's only one race I know that you can take 50 energy,
it should be 50
and
energy.
You can click on the map and see wherever, anything there.
There's a race that can do that. Pay 50 energy and see anything
literally
anywhere.
Scout anywhere.
Yeah,
anything,
but it costs 270 minerals every time you do it, so there's that.
Well, creep costs you losing the game, so I would say that's a little bit more expensive.
Like, honestly, why can't Creep Tumor be 50 energy so they actually have to worry when they lose the Creep Tumor?
They have to worry if they lose the Creep Tumor now.
No,
what are you talking about? You lose
care.
your first Creep Tumor, it feels really bad.
Well,
they don't really care.
To be
feels
fair,
really bad. Watch
every
them try to
time I
defend it.
see a creep get cleared, I see like 10 Creep Tumors queued up, and then the queens heal everything. And then they go inject. So I don't know.
To be fair, at that point in the game, the 25 energy change wouldn't matter anyways.
I would. What?
It only really matters in the very beginning of the game.
No.
We still have 4 Creep Tumors, right? Is it 200 energy on a queen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you still have 4 Creep Tumors. And if you have like a pile of queens sitting around, they're usually pretty full energy anyways, unless you have ultras already at this point in the game.
It would be much more expensive in the early game, though.
Yeah, it would matter.
The early game it matters way more because you lose a Creep Tumor, you can no longer inject 2 injects even, right? Like, what the fuck? That would be insane.
So the energy cost scales up with game time. Perfect balance.
No, it scales. Yeah, whatever. Anyways.
I don't know. It's like
It wouldn't. It literally wouldn't change what you're saying. Is what
I
my
put this
point.
as an example. You know the supply depot cooldown. What the fuck is that 50 energy? Imagine that was 25.
Then we'd get all in every game.
Oh, why?
Because you just call down a bunch of supply depots instead of building them, and you just show up with a bigger army.
No, not really. That's not how it works.
If you could build up 2 of them for the price of 1, I think it would.
Well, what I'm saying, you think supply depot cooldown is a better?
These are completely different buildings, dog. What is your point? Orbital and Queens don't have the same energies for their costs. They're not the same thing.
I mean, it's a valid point. What the fuck is it 25? Only Zerg gets the
because
25
we
handicap.
need creep to win the game.
Well, you need supply.
You need it.
Too.
Build them. We can't build creep tumors. You can't pay minerals to build creep tumors, can you? No, you have queens. It's the only way to do it. What you're saying is like 100%. Like it's a huge nerf too. It's not a little bit. You're doubling the price of creep tumors.
Yeah.
Doubling it. What if we doubled the price of orbital commands? Would you be like, oh yeah, that's fine. We don't need that. No, it would be a huge change. It would be massive. And it's only massive in the early game, which doesn't really matter. No one's bitching about creep at the beginning of the game. The problem is once we have like a fuck ton of queens in the middle of the map and we're just instantly spreading 100 creep tumors. That's the problem.
I mean, Jack, you shouldn't be talking about this. Could you make 20
okay, you
leagues on
discredit
2
what
bases?
I'm saying, but you're not discrediting it based off of like what I'm saying.
Yeah,
You're discrediting it based off of me building Zerglings.
Creep
What's the
tumor matters
discredit?
all the game.
I didn't say that it doesn't matter the whole game. I'm saying what your change is proposing is the first creep tumors nerf, not the fucking 34th or the 50th creep tumor. No one gives a shit about that because you already have 10
It
queens
affects
sitting around.
everything. No, you don't have 10 queens running around Zerg. That's not how it works against there.
It doesn't scale that way. You don't know how energy scales in the game?
You're saying it wouldn't
What
change
creep
anything
tumor
but early
does it
game.
matter the most? What creep tumor would matter the most?
Every single
First
one.
or the no, that's not how it works already. You don't know how the creep tumors work? Which one's the most expensive creep tumor? The first or the fucking 50th? You're saying it's the same energy? It's not really.
Is the most expensive.
There you go.
That doesn't discredit the other ones. Doesn't work.
I didn't say that. I'm saying your change would mostly affect the beginning of the game. The end of the game doesn't really change.
It does.
It does change a little. You don't have as many transfuses for your fucking ultralisks, but it's different than when you have your first creep tumor sniped, and now you can't inject 2 hatcheries. Now that is a huge difference.
You do your little first 2 medevac push or your Helios and try to kill creep tumors. It feels useless right now. Doesn't do anything.
What?
Yeah, it does feel useless because as Artosis said, they literally just put it again and go inject and do whatever the fuck they want. Don't they, Dan? That's literally what you say.
I too am appealing to Dan to moderate this conversation.
Yeah, Dan.
Sorry, I was really enjoying that for a little bit. You guys are.
I just feel like
heated.
It's something interesting to talk about. Like 25 energy for something that powerful as that is literally nothing.
So that's something that you would look at nerfing. Okay, so the Nidus, the creep tumor. Is there anything else?
Inject maybe?
The Fester. No, the inject
Fester.
Is inject Imba?
No.
He thought really hard about that one. He's like, how much can I take here, huh?
I literally say no.
Okay.
What do you guys actually, just kind of a general side thought to this, do you like all the nerfs? Like, would it make sense to buff things? Because it feels like if we just continually nerf, imagine StarCraft 2 10 years from now, you're going to be able to introduce a Wings of Liberty like Zergling. It's going to be able to kill everything in the game because everything will be so nerfed by that point.
Yeah.
I mean, I like this the way of going for about buffs, but the problem is I think it's way harder to balance a buff because it affects the other races more too.
Yeah.
Like, for example, if we're like, okay, let's buff scan to deal with creep tumors, and then all of a sudden they're like scanning all the whole game against Protoss and see everything or something, or whatever, right? Like, that's just the point, that it's easier to take these small nerfs because it affects the other matchups less than a big buff or even a small buff.
I agree with that.
So, but I, in general, like the big buffs a lot more, or the small buffs a lot more. I think that's the better way to go about it, but it takes a lot more time to balance is all, really.
I think what's been at least really successful from like a commentator or viewership standpoint, I think from a player standpoint too, is a lot of those like really big patches that they do either after like major tournaments or especially after BlizzCon. And this is kind of what Special was alluding to. It's like whenever they actually like change things like quite significantly, I think that gives so many people so many new things to talk about that it's not overwhelming. Like it takes some time to adjust. So I don't know. I'm just a fan of change. I feel like when things get too stable, they start to get really broken because like humans are pretty good at just like figuring out how to do what they want to do, whether it's like win with a race or whatever. So I don't know. I think that right now, or at least going into BlizzCon, I think people have started to figure out, especially like Zergs like Rogue, have started to figure out, wait a second, I just really abuse the shit out of like these things and I win. So that works pretty well. So I don't know what's going to disrupt that, but I think that the discussion is kind of centered around, hey, what would we change? Not, is it this way? Because it certainly seems to be that way.
Okay.
I think big changes spur a ton of interest in the game from everybody.
Oh,
literally everybody. And I think that's always the goal, is to just keep the interest coming for the game. I mean, it's pretty old. If it starts to feel stale, it's not like Brood War. It's not like these other games. It really isn't. It will get really stale. It's not the same thing, you know?
Yeah.
Like every Brood War game is different, but these games can be so similar and they can get so stale. And it's not like there's no mechanical ceiling that's infinite, you know? Like StarCraft, you hit a mechanical ceiling and then everything becomes very much like this does this, then does this, then does this, right? Like, yeah, it needs to change up a lot. And I think that it's better for everybody, the fans, the viewers, even the pro gamers, if there's some change, forcing pro gamers to practice more and kind of allowing more of a window for new players to come in. Because like, I think we talked about this before, maybe on In Depth or something. I feel like I'm always repeating myself with this, but it's just like the top 8 do the same because there's no change and they're getting better and better at what they're doing. But the people below them don't have enough like ability to get up to where they are. You know, I don't know how to explain myself well, but yeah, big changes are good. TLDR.
Okay.
Yeah, agreed.
All right. Anything, Australia?
In my opinion, the way the Blizzard patches seem to go is the end goal of Blizzard is to make a bunch of strategies viable in a single metagame as opposed to one dominant strategy. And they're trying to make it so that all the units in any given game of StarCraft you're watching, there could be like any particular strategy and any selection of units. Like they try to make units that don't see much use gain a lot of use. So like I think that's the reason they buffed the Nidus Worm in the first place. It's because it wasn't being used much. So I think that's the end goal of Blizzard Balance. I don't know if it's possible, but I think it'd be cool if they could get there.
Yeah. Right. I think they need to do big changes to get there too, right? Like you'll never get there with increment changes like they're doing now. I think it's basically impossible to do it. Like if you have these huge changes,
you can never zero in with a huge change. You can never zero in on anything.
That's so true. It all starts there.
So
I mean, I don't even know if it's possible at all ever, anyways, to ever get to the point where everything is viable.
Well, I think for everything to be viable, you have to let a game sit forever, basically, to figure everything out. Because that's how it happened with Brood War. And still not everything's viable, but almost everything is viable now.
So. Brood War's mechanics, I think, allow that more too, though.
Yeah.
For StarCraft 2. Because I think in StarCraft 2, there's just so many things that they scale different parts in the game too. Like there's just so many different things where you're not fighting mechanics all the time either. Like everything is so fluid that it's not as easy to make everything viable.
I think I disagree with you actually, Jake. I think incremental change might be the way to go as opposed to big changes. Like the last big changes I can think of, like I feel like Blizzard tends to make changes that are too big actually, besides the end of the year patch. I think those are okay. But like with the Nidus Worm, they changed suddenly to +5 armor at first, and I forget all the Nidus Worm was even more imba at the start.
It's the same, but more armor.
To be fair, I don't think they knew what they were doing when they did that. You know what I mean? I don't think they saw it as a massive change.
But
they saw a massive change was removing the mothership core. That was a massive change.
Yeah.
When they did that. The extra armor, like, oh, we'll add some armor, and then they didn't realize that they just made something invincible that can kill you at any start of the game, right? Like they did not intend that. I don't think that would be a really interesting.
But it was a bunch of buffs to the Nidus at once. There was that and the unload.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
And the price.
But what did they didn't change anything else. Is the point? They were supposed to change everything. It's not supposed to just be like, oh yeah, let's make this one thing for Zerg really fucking strong.
No, that was the
and
same
have all
patch.
the other races adapt to it.
Wasn't that the same patch that they changed the Raven missile thingy? Pretty sure.
I don't know. This was a while ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That might have been the same patch.
I'm not sure.
I can't quite recall.
I'm not 100%, but I think it was.
Yeah, I don't remember. I think my point was that big changes, Like they create innovation and they create new windows for players to improve at certain things. Like for example, I think Dan and I have talked about how they literally nerfed the way Neeb plays. You know what I mean? Like they nerfed it out of the game, but they didn't nerf the way Zerg plays. So the Zerg players just keep doing well, whereas Neeb Neeb has to learn a fundamentally whole new play style, right? And then Serral doesn't need to do that because Infestor Broodlord is still really strong late game, right? Imagine if Carrier Mothership was still really powerful. Neeb wouldn't have to learn a new thing either. So it just feels like there's this weird stuff happening like this constantly. But it would be better if we could just reset everybody almost. Like not quite that big, but you know what I mean? Where we're actually opening up these windows for everyone has to replay and everybody has to learn and adapt and play a lot of games. That's when we have new talent come up because they have more time or they have more energy to play more or whatever. And then they come up. But like if we don't do that, then the same 4 players are going to win everything because they don't have to change. They can just play as, you know, whatever they want. And all the players coming up still need to just surpass that barrier or whatever.
Go
ahead.
At the same time though, like if we kind of like right now, a lot of people think Zerg is strong. If we didn't change anything for the next, I don't know, for a while, for a couple months, say, I think Tosses would also find new ways to adapt and find more viable builds and ways to play right now. So I think a lot of times.
I agree with that. But
that will come from the map more than the actual, you know what I mean?
Yeah, what I was going to say though is I think Blizzard often takes it upon themselves when they see something's imba or whatever, something's too strong. But I think like given enough time, the players would find ways around it as well. So I don't know if Blizzard makes too many changes or not to like address these things when there's not sufficient time. No, not necessarily.
I agree. If you look at the battlecruiser, there's like the time where everyone's like, "Oh, battlecruisers are just broken. We can't deal with them at all. Like, there's nothing we can do. It's just totally imba." And then like a couple weeks later, nobody was talking about that. Everybody was talking about Immortal Archon or whatever, Immortal All-Ins, and they were like, nobody even talked about the battlecruiser anymore. And then the battlecruiser started finding a better place in the late game. Even like it actually felt like a better unit for the rest of the game. It still feels really gimmicky. It still feels really stupid. Don't get me wrong, and it's still pretty strong. But the point is that Zergs don't just die to it. And that it has its place, even though I fucking hate it.
Well, they did patch it though. They patched the Yamato, which was a good change.
Yeah, that was a good change, I guess. I don't know, but the whole point is like they need to give enough time to like deem something truly imbalanced. I think it's a hit or miss a lot of the times with their nerfs and buffs. So like sometimes it's it's just a hit or miss. Even Immortal Sentry All-In. Like, do we have any changes to that?
Yeah, the War Prism and Overgrowth Speed. Those are huge changes.
I feel like it was already starting to fall out though.
Exactly.
It was already starting to fall out.
Yeah, that's the whole point. Like the Immortal Sentry All-Ins weren't broken.
The players figured it out before the balance patch even hit, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, the War Prism being one less range doesn't help, obviously. Right?
What?
The War
doesn't help the case.
Yeah, one less range doesn't help.
It does help the Immortal Sentry or defenders, if that's what you mean.
No, I mean like it doesn't help Protoss do it anymore.
Yeah.
Like, what would you do it if it's worse? Use worse.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I don't know. The balance is really, really difficult. I would not want to be a balance designer.
I think it's
a very tough job.
It's always like a really big struggle to try to like nerf what is objectively strong versus like the player's skill. Like everybody wants to bring up like Beyond and Reapers or like other people who have iconic strategy about Blizzard, seeing that and be like, okay, well, we need to nerf this because of the player, or Mara and Proxing, or like whoever does an iconic thing that becomes very strong. But it's hard to like make the game more healthy when you see players like excel at that, because you still want to give the players the ability to be amazing, but you don't want to take away from all the other players who either aren't that amazing from like the rest of the players in the game the ability to like play something that feels like they have like some sort of agency in the game. I think one of the things that G5 actually pointed out in chat is that its balance for StarCraft 2 is especially difficult because units in StarCraft 2 like hard counter each other so much that it's difficult to balance that, because whenever you like nerf a unit, or when you change a unit, it affects things so drastically. And he actually went on to say that hardcore nerfing units that counter other units was good because it allowed people to play around build order losses and figure out solutions to things that might seem like super broken because those counters are so graphic. I don't know about that. I just think that like the balance definitely works way different in StarCraft as opposed to like any other game. And
It's
there's not a
very
lot
different.
of there's not a lot of other RTS like games to point out. Like a lot of people will talk about like StarCraft 1, which is obviously similar but still totally different. I mean, where else do you go to find like contemporary ideas about how to balance RTS? It's like there's not a whole lot out there.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, you can't point even at Brood War. Brood War is so different for balancing.
Yeah.
I think it's its own thing like that, but that's the whole point too, right?
Yeah,
like
for sure.
It's just a different thing. Like you need to figure it out. We're not there for sure, but I don't think. I think that more time certainly needs to be given, and even on the receiving end of stuff I feel is really broken. I don't feel like a patch immediately is ever the right thing. We just need time to like. At some points, things will be deemed completely imbalanced. Don't get me wrong; it will happen, but we need time to deem that. It feels like sometimes we just jump the gun and like a week later it's patched out and we're like, oh, I guess we're not seeing that anymore.
Yeah.
And that overall just limits the amount of innovation, I think, as well. Because if you patch something out that was viable for a little bit completely, then it's just out of the game, you know?
There's a really interesting sort of dichotomy where you want to make big changes to the game frequently. This is a lot of popular games do this, whether it's like Fortnite adding huge units to the game that drastically change it. League of Legends has major patches quite frequently. And that like keeps everything real and exciting, but you're always looking for the next hit. You know, you want the guy that hasn't played StarCraft in a month or in 6 months to come back to it and be like, wow, there's so many new crazy things I can do. I want to get back into that because it feels like the first time when everything's brand new. That's the best feeling when you play a good game for the first time, and you always sort of search for that feeling for the rest of it. You know, as you get better and you gain better skills, that really gives you like a new sense of appreciation because you're always finding out, hey, I can do this new build because I'm better at it. But the problem is there's only a couple of ways that you get that. You either keep giving people hits by changing the game, and then you're always looking for the next one. So you have to do these repetitive big changes, or you let a game sit forever and then it simmers and ages with time, and you reach a place where things like Brood War is like. And it's like, do you want the short term or the long term? But it's hard to get both of them. So
Brood War is balanced by the fact that it's so much harder to play.
Mechanics,
and by maps,
different.
It's not the same. It's not even possible.
You can't do that with StarCraft 2. Yeah,
for sure.
Like the thing is, if we did that in StarCraft 2, I'm pretty sure what would happen is we'd find something that is actually broken, and then we would keep doing that every single game. And then the other races would just retire because
for sure.
Like we would find it. We would totally find it.
I think we found it before.
Yeah,
we found it before, like in Wings of Liberty, and the old Broodlord Infestor. Like it's like no, that was actually just broken. There's no amount of theory crafting will get you out of that one. All right, good stuff. You guys have any final closing thoughts on Rogue's victory and his statement about the balance of the game before we move on to the questions?
I'd say I remember interviewing Dark when Dark is the biggest offender to just always say, his race is underpowered and every other race is broken. And so now you have Rogue kind of doing the opposite. I love Rayner's tweet where he's like, all right, how do we impeach Rogue? How do we get him out of here? How dare he give away our secrets? But I think in all truth, there is some like reality, at least to the way Rogue sees games, which I would say is pretty close to the way things really are. Cause he's winning major tournaments and nobody's going to say he's a bad player. So I think what is different is that BlizzCon always, there's something really cool about BlizzCon where there's a meta going into BlizzCon and then there's a meta during the opening week of BlizzCon, which is going to be in Seoul. It's so sick. But then there's a meta after the opening week when players are like, okay, what decks is everybody bringing to the tournament? What's going on here? Where they all study and reanalyze everything and see where things are at that total perfect moment. And then you get into the actual BlizzCon. That's where things get crazy. And I don't think that the way that things are before that time and the way that things are at the actual BlizzCon are the same. So maybe it's that way now, but I'm sure everybody's going to be looking at SuperTourney, looking to bring out these new crazy builds. And that's what makes BlizzCon so exciting every year.
Cool. All right. Thank you guys for some great thoughts there. It looks like it's time to jump into our Patreon questions. If you want to give us a question for these guys to answer or any show, go ahead and check out patreon.com/The Pylon Show. All right, here we go. First question from Goober Woober 9000. Excellent. If you were a Crayola crayon, what color crayon would you be?
Periwinkle.
Periwinkle, okay. Stray, what color would you be?
I'll be pink.
Pink. All right, excellent. No regret. What color?
I guess blue.
Okay. And
I don't know.
Juan, what color crayon would you be?
Black.
All right.
That's how I feel right now after the battle.
Yeah.
What about you, Dan?
I think when I was younger, I would have been brown, but I think I'm gray now. So.
Well, there's a lot to
Gray.
choose from. Nobody talks about like the good Crayola crayon colors. There's the biggest one right off the top of my head is fuzzy wuzzy brown. That's like way out there, and it's different because it's kind of a weird mix between brown and pink. So it's like on that spectrum,
Listen, Fuzzy Wuzzy Brown is a Fortnite caster. I am Artosis. I am color gray. Okay. I am the first color of the universe, grayness. All right. Thank you for the question, Goober Woober 9000. And Nescu asks, how would you feel about more limits on how many of a certain unit you're allowed to have? Blizzard keeps saying they don't want mass spellcasters, but the mothership is still the only unit which is capped in this way. They should cap all caster units if they really wanted them to just be supports. What do you guys think about that idea?
I don't like forcing people to like play a certain way. It's like you are allowed 2 of these units. I think it makes sense with the mothership because obviously you don't want somebody with 25 motherships, right? That just like makes sense. But
I don't even think 25 motherships would be that good. What would you do with 25 motherships?
Oh, but if you had like
you get them all knurled is what you do.
If you could have like 2 or 3 motherships, now that would be sick.
Right. And that's why
like,
obviously
not uncapped motherships is what I think from this.
No. No. That'd be very bad. I think everybody agrees with that. But the idea is that there's a huge difference between one mothership and 2 motherships, right? It's gigantic. Or 3 or whatever. There's a sweet spot and it's not 1. So you're artificially limiting that. Yeah. Because then you could do all these recall shenanigans. It'd be like.
And also, if you got yoinked, you just pull out your second one and just move it forward a bit, and then it would get yoinked, and then you pull out your third one.
Yeah.
And then it would get yoinked.
All right. Well, what about the actual question of capping spellcasters, though?
No,
I think bad.
You don't want to play against just 4 infestors, one? That doesn't sound.
You make the unit to be like that, so that's you don't want to have many, but you have to have some.
Yeah. That's a.
Perfect. Okay. Estrella, would you agree with this?
I think it's an interesting idea, but it'd be hard to get it all balanced correctly. Like it would change the game in a very big way. So if they did something like that, it would take a lot of time to get right, I think. I don't know if that's the way we want to go. But
what you should
I think it's interesting for sure.
Of course it's interesting. But it's not
You could
bad.
do is have like infestor overlords where you have to build those, and then it raises the supply cap. And then you type
so
an
you could
infestor
put
overlord.
A supply function on. So they actually have this in, Dawn of War in the Warhammer 40K universe has this where each individual unit has tiers of the unit. So essentially the way that they cap how much you have is that it's prohibitively expensive to highly upgrade each individual unit. But that's like adding a whole nother rabbit hole to the game.
But so it's just adding a supply cap.
It reminds me of like upkeep in War 3. And I don't like that idea. You're like, are you doing well? No, it's like the Super Mario blue shell, It's like, that's not what I want to play. Thank you very much.
I mean, you could say the same thing for mechanical difficulty capping the possibilities in Brood War, and then they remove that in StarCraft 2 because you can select all your units.
But is it good to select all your units?
Yeah.
Yes.
All I'm saying is they take out the comeback mechanic because in StarCraft 2 you F2 and you win, but in Brood War that's literally the hardest thing to do in the game. So
I think this is a huge change proposed for a problem that's literally only 1 unit because you don't mass High Templar. You can mass Ghost, but there's ways to deal with that.
Mass Ghost is great.
Yeah, Mass Ghost is pretty good, but I think the biggest problem is just like Mass Infestor, which you can change in a far easier way than like changing StarCraft completely.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Just like smart casting would be,
I actually think stuff like rapid fire should go away,
Yeah.
That's actually
fire. I've been on that hill for a long time. I definitely agree. Take away this rapid fire.
Zerg players are actually better based off their keyboards and their model. Like the model keyboard you have, like what the fuck?
Yeah.
That's silly stuff.
I agree.
All right. Thank you for the thought-provoking question, Inescu. Nayan asks, I want to give a big shout out to Alessander and their spy work for gathering all the StarCraft information into the super helpful and reliable show notes. I'm curious, how does their work look like if you can tell? Are they just that plugged into the scene, or do they work with a sort of system? Well, I mean, Alessander, if you want to jump on and answer that, it's up to you. But she does a great job. Of course, anyone who doesn't know, Alessander is the person who puts together our show notes for gathering tournaments and stuff. Of course, Cobra helps out with that some as well.
Yeah. But Alessander finds tournaments even I don't watch. So
yeah,
that's how impressed I am.
Everything.
When I saw like the
Alessander, please
go
right ahead.
What's your secret?
Well, I have a couple of very devoted, wonderful people that send me stuff, like Dark King, who sends me all the LATAM stuff, and Sonko sends me a lot of Brood War stuff. Rapid sends me some stuff. Coltarian, a whole bunch of people send me things, and also Liquipedia is pretty great. And sometimes I just like go troll through Twitter. I have all kinds of like Alpha X. They put on so much stuff that's pretty much an entire show notes if I had the time. And we ask every week for people to send in stuff, and we mean it. And that's how I get a lot of stuff. And then once I get the basic information, like the Japanese tournament and the Vietnamese tournament, those were sent in by people. And I deeply appreciate when they do that.
Yeah.
So shout out to Quicks and everybody else. Thank you.
All right.
So the moral of the story is send in stuff.
Yeah. It's join our Discord. We have commands for that in the chat, and send it in. Talk to Alessander and Cobra, and probably not me. I'm not very good at answering anyone. But yeah,
we have a
big thanks to
This Week
Alessander
in
for hosting
Content submission channel in our Discord, and if you want the role for that, just ping myself or Alessander, and then you can post directly into a channel where we kind of collaborate all that stuff together, and then we put that into the show notes. If you want to submit directly to that, you can just ask us for the role to be able to submit to the Discord channel.
Excellent. There you go. Thank you for shining the light on that, Nahian. Much appreciated. All right. Sate Zero asks, special and no regrets friendly balance chat /rant inspired me to change my question. Is that what we're calling that? Who is the Protoss player most likely to defend their race in that discussion in the same way that they were defending Zerg and Terran?
Drogo.
Also, Dan, thoughts on KSL4 map? I think ASL picks maps much better. Drogo? Would you guys both agree?
Wait, let me think about it. Yeah, probably Drogo.
100% Drogo.
I actually, we got to get Drogo on the show. I invite him from time to time. It's a terrible time zone for him, but he is a smart guy. I love having discussions with him about various things.
Like the thing about Protoss, Dan, is like the Protoss, they whine about Zerg like really hard, but they know that PvT is completely favored for Protoss as well, so they don't say anything about that. That's how they work.
Yeah, Protoss is only whine when it's bad for them, but when it's good for them, they don't whine at all.
They use gold silence,
Yeah, if they whine about something else, they're just like, oh yeah, look at this thing. Look at how the Zerg versus Terran matchup's doing.
Yeah.
they keep quiet about the Protoss versus Terran matchup,
Okay. And the second part of the question, thoughts on KSL4 map pool? I think ASL map picks are so much better, says State Zero. So I guess we forgot to add that in. KSL Season 4 was announced and starts. The online qualifiers are next weekend. If you want to play in it, they're open to everyone. As far as the actual map pool goes, it's Fighting Spirit, Circuit Breakers, Blockchain, Overwatch. Those are all ladder maps, those four.
Yeah.
And then they're also adding in Match Point, a 2-player map, a very popular old one. NeosteelEnthusiast and Eddie.
Yeah.
Rapid, what do you think about that map pool first?
I'm glad they left the standard maps in, because obviously with bans, you're probably going to have the weirder maps out there. I think Match Point is an excellent map to add back in. Overwatch, I think, was a map that a lot of people liked. My question is, like, I think there's too many just like big ass maps, like Blockchain, just gigantic. Like Fighting Spirit, Eddie, they're both really good. Circuit Breakers is another culprit. So I think that like you got to have like enough variety. For instance, there's only one 3-player map. I think 3-player maps add a lot of variety, even though they're kind of hard to balance based on like spawn location. But like there's just like a lot of like huge 4-player maps. So I think that could be kind of problematic, but obviously, I mean, we're watching the best players in the world in theory play on these. So I think that balances things out a little bit. I don't see any like super gigantic imbalance, at least from what I was talking with Nyoken a lot about these maps. And he seems to think that like there's maps that are very polarizingly good for Terran and some that are just like not that great. So I think that the winner, like the loser picks map choice could actually give us a lot of like 5-game series.
Sure. Yeah, looking at the map pool, like I like them using as many ladder maps as they can, just because I think that's good for the player base, the fans and stuff. Whereas ASL oftentimes has very strange maps, which can be entertaining, but you don't get to play on them as a casual player.
For sure.
Yeah. As far as the actual map choices, I pretty much like them. I think that the ones that they added in NeoSylphid has kind of just been a very big staple of the pro scene for the past year and a half, 2 years, and it's quite a good map. And then like Eddie, I think is a really good 4-player map as far because it's very different from the other 4-player maps. Like Circuit Breakers and Fighting Spirit are just so vanilla, and Blockchain is very weird and very different. But Eddie is, it's very interesting tactically and how far apart the bases are and stuff. So I think that's a cool choice. And I think Match Point was an excellent addition because Match Point is a map of pure tactics and scuffles. It's like it's so small that you just see some of the craziest things there. So I think it's a reasonable map pool for sure. I like it. It.
I think the only thing I would change is maybe put in like one weirder map and like take out either one of either Fighting Spirit or Circuit Breakers, because I think it's important to have like some standard maps, but not too many.
Sure. But a good pool though. I think it's pretty solid. Thanks for the questions there, Say Zero. All right, Pylon Petho asks, "Dear Artosis and awesome guests," that's you guys. What do you think of me and my GF, who haven't watched anything that's not StarCraft since November, can do other than donations, which we already do, to help the scene? ZG and Lambo are among our favorite personalities, and their mood really worried us. We want to help. What do you guys think that StarCraft fans, big time fans, can do to help out?
I guess like share stuff on Twitter, stuff like that.
Talk about it. Like that's the biggest thing is just share it. Like even if you don't have a huge reach, like the more you talk about it, like the more popular it becomes. And it's not all about popularity. A lot of it can just be encouragement. I know both of those people that you mentioned, or that the person mentioned in their comment, like both had follow-up tweets that said, "Hey, thanks for all of the encouragement and advice." I think it's a weird, lonely kind of road to do either just esports, but especially content creation, and especially if you're a player. Some players get like super bummed out. Some content creators get really bummed out. It's always nice to like hear some encouragement. So yeah, that too.
I think if you're just watching StarCraft, you're awesome anyway. So
yeah, that's also a good way. Just watch everything.
I mean, he's asking something more than what he's already doing.
There's not much you can do, honestly, more than that.
Yeah, I think only sharing.
I think like the most you can do is that literally donate to support your favorite or commentator or broadcaster or streamer or whoever. Like,
for sure.
A lot of financial stuff in StarCraft is very unstable for everybody, even the pro gamers. So financially supporting them, I mean, it means a lot, I'm sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's about the most you can do, though, to be honest.
I guess in addition to that, just leaving comments here and there can help out as well. I think that people like to read that if they, if someone's upset and you're like, "Hey, you're so great."
Talking about comments, I just got one, Artosis.
Yeah.
You want me to read it to you?
Yeah, I want to read that.
One second, I'm opening. One second.
I'm excited.
You're gonna love it.
I can't wait.
After listening to you in the Pylon shot, SI, you might be the dumbest motherfucker alive.
Okay, don't do that. There you go. There's your way to help.
Awesome. I love it. We have the best fans here at the Pylon Show. Thank you so much.
Love it. StarCraft fans are so polarizing. Either you're just the worst person. Oh my God. Or you're like a loving, caring member of the community that like genuinely cares and like asks questions like that one on the Pylon show. I'm just like, can we not just like be just generically good? Ugh.
Excellent. Thank you for sharing that one.
Was it Gemini? Did Gemini say that?
It was a Twitter DM.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Well, anyone with their DMs open deserves anything they get. All right. Thank you, Pylon Pefo, and thank you so much for supporting StarCraft and watching it so much and all that. Okay. Trancall asks, pre-Legacy of the Void, because there were only 6 workers, quicker tech was common. The timings were different, so there were more interesting and longer early and mid-game skirmishes. I always feel that this was more interesting. Nowadays, fast expand is too standard and too safe in some ways. Your thoughts?
But also, you have to take in mind that the 6 worker things were produced like really slow time, like at the beginning of the game. Like most of the time, you will still go like fast expand, but now what Legacy of the Void did is like it made it faster. Like skip all the building process of workers, you know?
Yeah, but that also, it removed a lot of the early cheesy stuff from the game, adding more workers, because you don't have a bunch of options on when to send your worker out for proxies and things like that. You know, you can send out a worker immediately, and that's as fast as you can do it, but you've already got 12 and money's coming in so quickly that even if you proxy something, your opponent's buildings aren't that far behind. So I think that while it sped the game up, and I think it did make StarCraft 2 a bit better, it did take out, as this person's saying, a little bit of strategic depth, I think.
I mean, there's no argument that it literally took it out. You know what I mean? Like it took out that stuff. But was that a negative or a positive thing?
I think
the more important question. No, you definitely can. I think people still would scouted most of the time after like building their supply depot or their probe or pylon or whatever. Like it didn't really change that much, but I think the change to the economy was much better than it was before, you know?
I think so.
Like, yeah.
Okay.
Just the timings are different.
Sure. All right. Cool. So thank you for your question, Trancall. Foot4264 asks, if you had a Mount Rushmore of SC2 players for foreigners and 1 for Koreans, who would be the 4 faces on each? Okay, I would say for foreigners, tell me if you agree, we go maybe, it's hard. Let's go with Idra, Stefano, Neeb, Cyril. I feel like I'm missing out Nanawa, Huck. There's a couple others.
How are you gonna do my boy Jinro like this?
Jinro.
No. Those players weren't. They all left too. Like the thing is, Stefano is still here. You know, he's still here.
Snoot, I'm missing out too. Snoot is one of the most important foreigners ever.
I would accept Snoot.
He's one of the most important foreigners ever.
Yeah.
Why did they ask the question like Mount Rushmore as opposed to like the 4 best foreigners? Like, is there some significance that we have to be paying attention to here?
Like a big monument.
Yeah. Because it's more about, it's not just the best foreigners ever. It definitely has more to do with the significance of them, right? It has to.
Like, the banjos. I don't know. That's a really interesting question because there's a lot of different things that you can like admire about somebody. Like everyone's like when Neeb won Kespa Cup, like that's just like a wow. If Neeb had like never won another tournament after that, there's still merit to having him on this like big statue, whatever, because he was like the first guy to do the thing. So you kind of want to commemorate a big moment, even if it's not like a widespread kind of thing. Whereas Cyril just wins everything forever, and maybe I don't know. That's a different thing to commemorate.
I feel like it's easier to say for the Koreans. It makes more sense for me for the Koreans because they're more distinctly divided into ages. So for the 4 Koreans, I would say like MVP, Nestea, MC, maybe Fruit Dealer or something, and it kind of matches up with actual Mount Rushmore reasonably well, right? Maybe not.
What about thou who shall not be named?
Well, see, the thing about Mount Rushmore is that you're just
he's like the Sphinx. We chop off his nose.
Like Mount Rushmore is just like a lot of the first dudes. It's not the best ones. It's just
back then maybe they were the best.
Yeah, it's just like the first ones. So somewhere Hongan Prime is going to be up there, you know, like
No, he's not going to be up there.
No, but like you get what I mean. It's not just the best people; it's like significant early people. So like guys like Cyril and Nee probably wouldn't be on there.
You guys have any other names to throw on the Mount Rushmore?
4 of my faces. That's it.
4 of your faces.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I would accept OGS the STC.
All right. Thank you for the interesting question there, Foot. Hyper Turtle asks, I'm playing a match against my friend War Bunnies later this week. Could you please provide me your best Artosis Cursed 100% eat a shoe, definitely 4-0, almost qualified for Super Tournament prediction regarding who will win? No, War Bunnies is not a Patreon
supporter. Get out of here.
I will eat a shoe if War Bunnies beats you 4-0, okay?
There we go.
I think that's how it works. Right? Did I do it right?
I'm predicting a 4-1 here for Hyper Turtle because when you look at their names, first off, Slow and Steady wins the race, right? Hyper Turtle against War Bunnies. War Bunnies is an aggressive player, I can tell. Straight up aggressive player. But if you're defending well, as your name implies, and you're quick like your name implies, you got this.
Well, really, you take the turtle whose only weakness is being slow, and then you take the only weakness away by making it hyper. It's like, how could you possibly lose? Easy 4-0.
It's basically invincible. It's crazy. Yeah,
of course.
So you just cursed him.
Got him.
There you
Destroyed.
go. There you go. All right. Thank you for your question, and good luck on your show match. Alessander asks, share a funny Joker story you've heard from a player. Names optional to protect the guilty. But for me, it's Xanser's travelogues going to any tournament, but especially the time he ended up halfway across Poland. What are some funny stories that you guys have heard from players or about players or something like that? You don't have to name names, obviously.
I feel like random players.
Someone's got a story. Come on.
Xanser is also like a great guy to just like have stories of. I feel like who was it?
Stories about him.
Yeah, I think same for me. I think Xanser getting lost or missing flights is like also the fan. Who is it that missed a lot of flights? Was that Xanser? I thought it was, or is it Elazer? I think a lot of them.
Xanser.
Yeah, it's definitely Xanser.
But you know what was the best part? When he booked a flight, like he was supposed to fly. Let's say he was supposed to fly tomorrow.
Yeah.
But instead he booked a flight for tomorrow next year.
Oh yeah.
I have seen that happened once where Tasteless lost a tournament that he was at like way long ago, and so G5 bought him the ticket to fly home, but it was for the next year the same day. It was terrible because everyone was poor. It was hard to fix.
I remember there's a League of Legends player whose team bought him his ticket to go to a tournament, and they bought him his ticket, but they put the name on the ticket as his pro gamer name, not his actual person name. So he goes there with his passport, and they're like, "Well, this doesn't say the same thing." He's like, "Oh my god, they're so stupid." So
that's crazy stupid.
Yeah, that's so stupid.
Trying to think.
You know, in Montreal, there's like people that are still tweeting me pictures of my brother and like hanging out with my brother, and I'm just like, he doesn't do anything in StarCraft at all, and he just shows up at the event, just like parties with everybody. I'm like, this is so weird for me.
Does he look like you?
No.
Oh,
your brother sounds dope AF.
He's like, imagine Anton, but like 5 years from now. That's my brother. Okay.
Wow, so cooler Anton.
Yes, and older Anton.
I mean, there's a bunch of stories you just have to remember when you put it like this on the spot, you know?
Yeah. I know a lot of really funny things have happened. I'm just trying to remember what they were.
I feel like a lot of them, like some of the best ones I know, like are so specific that you can't really like hide who the player is too. So it's hard.
Yeah, I have infinite Anton stories.
Okay. Once upon a time, we were at an event. I don't know if I've told this one before, but Jaedong was practicing. It was some foreign event. He was practicing on the computer. And so Tasteless, his iPhone was getting low. So he put the cable into his iPhone, then walked over to the computer Jaedong was practicing on and just plugged it in. And of course that all tabs Jaedong out of the game.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that was a good one. I like that one.
It
was like, well, he's Jaedong, so he doesn't really get mad. He's just kind of friendly. But Taste was like, Oh shit. Once upon a time at a USA Finals way back in 2004, I believe, there was this Terran player named Skew.
Ooh,
And we were walking, and Counter-Strike was like in the finals or the semifinals, and they were playing. And Skew accidentally kicked out the power cord that plugged in all the computers. And they had to restart. Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny.
Oh my god. Good question.
You guys have to have a question.
I have one. Okay, there's a funny one. I'm gonna omit names for this one, but I've heard in WESG, one of the StarCraft 2 pro gamers logged onto Hearthstone, right? Because he wanted to play Hearthstone, and he logged out one of the finalists that was playing at the tournament, and he lost the set and lost the tournament.
Whoa!
The name was. They were searching for him like the whole time, apparently too. They're like looking for who logged him out, and the person lost $100,000 because of it. So.
Oh my god, that's terrible.
True, but I will not say the names.
Holy!
Wow.
Oh my god!
He's going to play some Hearthstone, man.
Damn.
Apparently, he wasn't even sitting at his computer either. He was sitting at that person's.
No, he was like he went to take someone else's computer.
Oh my god! This person is now in hiding in Thailand somewhere.
That's funny.
Jeez.
That's funny. That's funny in a very sad way.
Yeah.
All right. Some good stories, guys. Thanks for adding. Thanks for the question. Next up, let's see. Gloopy Glorp asks, "Hey all, you guys talking about how to help the B tier Koreans without recreating the system where the Koreans won everything? Got me thinking. What if we had a system where Koreans that have never achieved top 16 in a Star League had the opportunity to compete for seeds and travel for WCS events? What do you guys think about that? Any player that never made top 16, never made round of 16.
I mean, so they can just.
I wouldn't mind, but
I don't think that fixes anything though.
I think if they found a way to do it, I
think that would actually.
Yeah, that would actually do a lot.
Like, I mean, if you're a player that never made top 16, there's very few that people can name that never made a top 16. Because, like, everyone just gets into a top 16 eventually, you know? And most of these players have done it again and again. So I feel like for amateurs, that could be very exciting if, like, you get your flight paid or something. I think that sounds to me like a pretty good idea, actually.
Yeah, if they found a real way to do it, like, it shouldn't just be some arbitrary top 16, but some way of, like, doing the right way of doing it, I think it would be really good. Yeah, I like the idea a lot because I think that that would incentivize a lot of practice amongst the amateur Koreans.
Yeah, and that's like you can win some good money, and then if you're making top 16 in GSL, I think you don't mind as much because you're making some decent cash, and you're oh damn, I'm real good now. Like that's
Yeah, I think everybody loves having something to work towards. Well, so I think providing
the question is, just do the people that are playing in the qualifiers just not play anymore though too because they don't want to get top 16.
Yeah, like that's the problem. Yeah, I think it will have to be something like people that didn't make it to the round 16 of that season.
If they found a way to do it the right way, I think it'd be good.
More than like people never made, because then you have people like actually just not play to go to the WCS.
Exactly. I think if they found the right way to do it, it would be really good though.
Yeah, if you did it like
there just need to be better rules, and there has to be a ton of consideration and like the implications on like the amateur players. We certainly wouldn't want like someone like really established just not playing and getting in or something. Like I don't know, it just
you don't
I like the idea.
It would take too much away from the foreign scene or anything like that?
No,
I don't think there's that many players that would like make a huge impact.
Let's take a player like Chance, who we'd say 6'3" on Korea around your maybe 100 MMR, 200 MMR below you, Australia. Like this person going to Montreal to play WCS would not be a bad thing, right? I don't think anyone would say that. He would have some chance. He'd actually probably do okay. He would get demolished, I don't think. He would get the experience, like that experience. It would motivate him to do better. And then if he keeps getting better and better, then he should go into the GSL system, right? You know what I mean?
They could probably add a lot to like fan enjoyment too, to see these like slightly lower level Koreans playing in the tournament.
It's not fair to lump all Koreans together either, because like the amateur Koreans are not the same as the top tier Koreans. It's not fair. That's like lumping every American and saying they're all Neeb. Like it's not the same.
All I'm hearing is Code A.
I've been a huge
Code would
advocate for
be-
Code as well.
would be
A
cool.
man can dream.
Yeah. All right. A very thought-provoking question. Thank you, Gloop Glor. That would be cool. Some drunk Canadian asks, you are 18 years old and a single nerd. You are on the StarCraft 2 Tinder. The following profiles come up. Do you swipe right, approve, or left, disapprove? 1, Kerrigan, before she became Zelnaga thing. Did this guy just spoil Legacy of the Void?
I can't believe I'm on the second mission of.
Everyone knows she's a Zerg, so what are we even talking about here? Oh my God! Some drunk Canadian.
How could
I've
you?
been asking for no spoilers. I haven't had time to finish it.
Banned, unsubscribed, and unfollowed.
How long has
Swipe
Legacy of the
left.
Void been out, by the way, guys? Like 4 years, 3 years?
Longer than Estrella's been alive.
Listen, all these people without kids telling me what I have time to do. Thanks a lot, guys. Okay, so 1, Kerrigan. Sheena, number
Who's
2,
Sheena?
Third Queen.
What the fuck is
3,
Sheena?
Tasteless. 4, Roddy. He can't remove his shirt.
Oh, that makes it a
Much
definite
love
no.
from Vancouver. Okay, so where do you guys swipe?
Wait,
So
who
I
is Sheena?
swipe
I mean,
right to everyone, but the problem is I will not get a match, you know. 'Cause
Yeah. I
already-
feel you, my dude.
I already tried this, doesn't work for me, so
I
I'm a
think
lonely
Tasteless,
nerd.
Tasteless would swipe back on you, Juan.
Okay.
maybe.
I think my thought is not would I swipe right or left, but which one of them has the lowest standards and therefore gives me the greatest chance.
Tasteless.
Yeah,
But
probably
Tasteless.
tasteless.
That's your
Solid.
If that's your thought process, just swipe
I
right
feel
on
like-
all of them.
Yeah, I feel like Roddy is the nicest, though. I mean, he might
Yeah,
see
Roddy
you
would
for who you
definitely-
are, and there you go.
Roddy might have pity too.
Yeah, but Roddy, I would know. I
Roddy
would
might feel
know
bad
Roddy
for
would
you.
pity you.
at all points in the relationship that he would be out of my league and is just doing it to be nice to me. So I would never feel comfortable with that.
All right. Capt Happa asks, who do you think is the scrappiest player in StarCraft 2? Or who do you think plays the best in a scrappy game situation? I think
That's
in
very
scrappy
easy.
game situations, SOS is very,
Yeah,
very
you got to go SOS.
What do you guys think?
No, I think Hero's slightly better.
I think Hero also.
Okay.
Hero, yeah, Hero makes a lot of sense. I think if I was going to pick Hero or SOS, I'd pick Hero first.
We
But-
all picked
Like,
Protoss.
SOS makes the scrappy situations, you know.
Yeah, he definitely
Hero
makes
can
it
play
that way.
Hero can play when the game's scrappy, regardless.
Mm.
If
What
that
about
makes
other
any
races
sense.
though?
I think some of the Zergs could be really good. I think Dark, I
Dark-
would consider
Dark-
someone
Dark's
good,
really good scrappy.
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
really
yeah,
good
yeah.
at that.
I
yeah.
can see
And
that. Yeah.
Terran, I think TY is the best. at
I
scrappy
think
game.
I think that Bjorn was the best. He's in military, obviously, so I don't know if he counts. But like, he got himself into scrappy situations every game from only focusing on micro, and he was so good at that.
Yeah.
TY, but now TY will play this. That's scrappy.
Yeah, Ty is very smart in weird situations as well.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't give him number one in that personally.
No, we go by races. I mean, I think
Oh.
number one over all these
I
programs.
mean, do we count, like, because we just named Koreans, but I think Haas is probably even more scrappy.
Well, he
Yeah.
definitely creates those situations for himself very, very often.
Maybe if Haas had better mechanics, I would agree more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like Haas is only
Don't
good
need
in
mechanics if
scrappy-
you don't have an economy, right? Like, come on.
No, you do.
Okay. Good question. Thank you, Captain Happa. All right. GGE Mini 19 asks,
Is
how
that the
impactful?
Gemini?
Who?
Gemini? Is that Gemini?
Yes.
No, it's GGE Mini.
It says
No, yeah.
GGE Mini 19.
He actually looks
Literally.
similar, but he has a mustache and goatee. Yeah.
This one doesn't wear glasses. How impactful would removing smart casting be? Not really saying it'd be good or bad, just curious on how you think about not being able to easily spam Storm, Snipe, Infested Terran, Fungal, Neural, etc. One thing I want to say quickly about this. So under Brood War rules,
Whoa.
as I've mentioned,
Oh my
I've
god.
mentioned this before.
What? Hello?
Whoa.
Holy.
I got gifted a sub. How many subs is this?
I never win a sub, man.
100
I
subs.
did win
I
this time.
got it.
I
got
won.
You won one?
I
Jenna,
won.
a gigantic sub gift. Thank you so much,
Holy
Jenna.
crap.
100 subs gift to the channel. That is insane.
Now I can use
Much
this emote.
appreciated. Much love,
Oh,
Jenna.
how you do it? Yeah.
Oh, you got it. Nice.
There you go.
Come on,
That's good. Good emote. I got the best emotes. Thank you, Jenna. Again, always so supportive.
Arto Trash.
Yeah. Oh, Trash is a good one. That's a good one. That's my favorite, I think.
What happens if you gift 100 subs to someone who only has 30 viewers?
It gets random people, I think.
Yeah, but people that aren't on the channel.
Yeah.
Oh,
because you can give subs to people that are not watching with you right now. So I think.
So it just might be anyone on Twitch. That's crazy.
I think so.
Okay, here's a real question for you guys.
Yeah,
when Ninja was still on Twitch, how many people gifted subs from their channel to him to try to get noticed? I bet it's a startling high number.
Startlingly high number. But it's actually crazy. I read a sick article talking about the number of people that are still subscribed to him, even though he doesn't stream anymore. It's astronomical. It's actually so crazy.
Well, people forget that they're subbed.
Yeah.
But was Ninja as good as Asmongold, though? Asmongold is the best streamer ever.
I don't even know who that is, but okay. Again, thank you for the gift there, Jenna. Okay, so the question about removing SmartCast is something I've talked about in the past. I just want to make this really clear. So let's say you had Brood War. This is how it works. When you press the button, if you have a group of High Templars, they'll all cast the Psystorm as soon as they get in a range to do it. But at the same time, everything happens at once. So Infested Terrans would actually come out quicker under Brood War rules, just to make that really clear. So that would be a buff to Infested Terrans coming out. But what do you guys think about that? About the type of smart casting that we have, where you can just have Infestors and Fungal all day, or a group of High Templars and Storm all day? What do you guys think? I think it would benefit Terran quite a bit to have that removed.
For sure.
If the game was the game would have to be rebalanced, but I think it's good overall. Like Storm would, I mean, Infested Terrans obviously would have to change because they're overpowered now.
Yeah. I mean, well, it's only that. Like, everything else will be the same.
No.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
no,
obviously
as
it would have to be rebalanced a little
I
bit.
think like sniping would be a lot harder. You wouldn't just be able to queue it up, right? Or is it easier?
No,
how does sniping work? Would they all snipe the same unit?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think Storm would be very different, right? Like Storm would be a lot easier.
Yeah, but that is a big difference because there's some of them, it's about cloning, which is like where you put one unit to cast one thing on one other unit. So obviously splitting that is much harder under the Brood War way of doing it, but some things are much easier under the Brood War way of doing it, where you just have to cast a bunch of things all at once.
Wait, does smart casting make it so that larva would all morph at once, the same unit?
No, it's not casting. That's how Brood War larva work, but that's not what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
Okay. Someone in chat was saying that. I thought it was.
Yeah. Well, no. Yeah. I mean, obviously, we're not talking about every Brood War thing happening the same way, but look, I think overall it's a good idea because so much of the balance wine and so much of the crazy shit, it's like. You remember the meme of everyone making fun of casters for saying amazing fungals because it's so easy to cast that what the fuck are we talking about anymore? And the same thing with Psy Storms, where you just have a group of High Templar and like as they run towards you, like storm, 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 and it's like, are you good? Like, is that what? Are we pretending that means that you're good? Like, really? I'm all for dumbing that down so that you actually have to micro your spellcasters. I think that this would put a cap on how many you would want. A lot easier than a lot of things.
Well, it will never happen, so it's kind of useless to think about it, to be honest.
Yeah,
for sure.
I understand what you guys are saying, but I'd actually disagree that that's a good thing. Like in Brood War, it's balanced around kind of fighting the mechanics of Brood War, it seems like. Like I don't play the game, so I don't know, but that's what it seems like. But StarCraft is kind of like optimized so that everything is as easy as possible to do so that the players can be as good as possible. Like fight the mechanics as little as possible. And I kind of like that about StarCraft because that means we're playing at the highest level possible.
Okay, that's fair.
What did you want? Do you want to talk, Sasha? What did you say? Oh, he's only saying that because what? Okay.
No, I know. He's only saying that because he plays Protoss, don't see? Is that the full
I don't know
comment?
if that's what she was trying to say.
I could feel it, you know.
It might be it, yeah.
All right.
Is she giving the face like this, Jack? Like this?
Would disruptor balls go all out at once too? Is that a cast?
Yeah, that would be a cast. Yeah.
Well, here's a different question then. Which race would it benefit the most for this change?
A Terran by far.
Yeah, for sure.
Really by far, because Terran does not actually spam out spells that much. Really, when you think about it, I can't even. It's like sometimes you have multiple ghosts, right? But normally you'll have like 1 raven to 2 ravens. That's not going to be that hard to do. And yeah, it would definitely benefit Terran the most by far.
No, not even close. Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, it would be quite a nerf to the other 2 races, I would say.
Yes.
Not for me.
Imagine having to do force fields. Damn, that would be hard.
Oh my god, that sounds awful.
Oh, that sounds sick.
Oh no.
That would be crazy. You could make a lot of more weird different maps like that too.
Oh man, you know how hard it would be to force field a circle around your army or something if Ling Bane was coming at you?
Like impossible. It just wouldn't.
You'd have to hockey all your sentries independently.
Can you imagine that? 1F, 2F, 3F, 4F, 5F.
That sounds
sick. Let's do it.
Oh no.
Let's ruin StarCraft 2. Okay, thanks for the question, E-Mini. All right, last one from good old Fear Dragon Rubby Preek. Hey guys, anyone who feels that if so many more players whom haven't actually played are losing in the tournament than ones we have, that the room had to be changed, then probably viewers will have to be excluded, is likely to agree that the rules need a revision? Thanks, large repeated snowball. Okay, hold on.
Unquestionably.
What the hell does this say? I have no idea what.
Well, first of all, was he drunk when he wrote this, or what's going on here?
It seems like
anyone who feels
might be drunk.
So many who haven't actually played are losing in the tournament. The ones we have, that room had to be changed. Then probably viewers will have to be excluded. Is likely to agree that the rule need a revision.
I am from Mexico and I speak Spanish and I can write better than this. What's going on here?
All I'm trying to say is like Ravi is having a good night.
So guys, what do you think about that?
I would
the rules have to be changed. Viewers have to be excluded.
Room had to be changed. I agree with him. Room had to be changed.
Unquestionably. I think that for years it was unchanged, but like now that actually so many people feel like and it's not just everybody, it's like the people who have actually played, now they're losing in the tournament. You clearly have to do something about that. I think if you change the room, that's like probably the most popular way of doing it. But I would go so far as to say that excluding the viewers from that decision-making process is probably where you're going wrong there, Ravi. I think that the rules do need revision, but I don't think that the one that you have proposed is especially well thought out. I'm sorry.
I think that that's the right answer. I'm going to go with what Rapid just said.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Yes. So, Fear Dragon, I hope that's a good enough answer for you. And that's all you're going to get today. All right. Thank you, everyone, for the questions. This was actually, I think, some very good, well thought out questions this week. So thank you.
Almost all of them.
Hey, Dan, how long was the episode?
Well, the episode's not over yet. We have about 5 more minutes, but
no, but like roughly, how long has it been?
3 hours and 10 minutes.
3 hours.
So I remember very clearly at the beginning of the episode, you guys say, only 3 to 4 hours means you have a really special guest. So I made it.
Well, your ID is literally special,
no,
at least for the time being.
I agree with this. I think Max did an amazing job on the show.
Yeah.
And
Max been here before. I haven't.
I really think that all the shows with Max are special. So yeah, it makes a lot of sense that it's 4 hours long.
You just happen to be here on a good day, Poppy.
Yeah,
this has been it's been a very good day, and we've still got a little bit more here. Quick shout out to the Pylon staff. I gotta say, look at our beautiful overlays and all the different things we have going on right now. Cobra and his merry crew have done a great job. So big thank you to everyone involved with the Pylon show. Also, check out our Matcherino page, matcherino.com/The Pylon Show. Use the code PUMPKIN. These are some of the Twitters, by the way, that we've shown on there are the Pylon Show and people who are working on the show. So thank you much. But yeah, check out matcherino.com/The Pylon Show. Use the code word PUMPKIN this week. It'll really help us out. If you want to buy some swag and whatnot, go right ahead. And of course, our Patreon. Very important place for us and how we run the show. And if you want to ask questions, you can do that. You can use command Q&A. Check out patreon.thepylonshow.com. But yeah, patreon.com/The Pylon Show is where you would go to the Patreon. And then, of course, thepylonshow.com is our website where you would ask the questions via being a Patreon member. Yeah. And a big shout out to all of our big supporters within the Pylon Show on... hold on. Astrofin and Manard for the $100 support. Thank you so much for that. Okay, so that pretty much does our episode. I'm going to announce our next episode after we say goodbye to everyone. But let's see. No regret. What are you doing? What are you up to? Where can people find you, etc.?
Oh, thanks for asking, Dan. So I do this really cool show with my sidekick. It's called In Depth, and I do it every Monday. I go over to his house because, you know, why not? And we talk about StarCraft, so you can find me there every Monday. And we have a Patreon, patreon.com/indepthsc too. And you can follow me on Twitter at @RootNoRegret.
Great stuff. Estrella, great today. Thank you for coming. Where can people find you? What are you up to? What do you want people to see or watch or know?
You can follow me on Twitter at @CEstrella, Twitch at ZEstrella. It's twitch.tv/ZEstrella. And just cheer for me in the upcoming next year WCS, and I'm going to try to qualify for GSL Season 1 next year, so you can look forward to that.
And in the Battle Down Under.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Oh, yeah,
do you
Under.
give up already or what?
Battle Down Under, and my team is Alpha X. They're very supportive of me.
Excellent. Rapid, how about you? What are you up to?
Oh, I'm just a hashtag big fan out here, living a dope life, doing dope things. Big thanks for having me on as always. Couldn't do it without you because, you know, I couldn't be on the anyway. Big thanks to also for everybody tuning in for doing that too. You can follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Discord, everywhere out there. I do have an Uber referral code, and I gave it out jokingly at the end of last season, but I got 2 referrals off of that. So thanks to that for people doing that. Yeah, I will be streaming a little bit more after we get back. We're going to Corrupted Cup. I'm going there with Artosis, and so hopefully producing a lot of content there that'll be going up on YouTube later on. So yeah, youtube.com/c/rapidcasting is that thing. What else is there? I don't know. Just keep being cool. Thanks for
Follow
watching.
his mom.
That's right. You can do all of that.
There.
And honestly, if you watch this show and you don't follow the people that are doing it, like what are you doing? That's not very Totinos of you. You know, that wholesome pizza roll that's part of this complete breakfast. Like your parents always told you to do something with your life. So now you can follow me on Twitter.
Excellent. And
excellent.
All right. Juan, where can people find you? What are you up to? What do you want people to watch?
Well, man, you know, you can follow me on Twitter, of course. That's where I mostly balance rant about stuff. But me, aside, you know, I actually try very hard every tournament I play. So I have Blizzcon coming up soon, like in 3 weeks. So yeah, just hope you guys watch me play there. And I always try very hard every tournament you can. I think Jack can vouch for me here. Like every time I have to play something, I actually put my heart and try really, really hard to do well. So hope I can do well in that tournament as well.
Cool. As for
me,
I
have a question for you though.
Yeah, go ahead.
Why the Pylon show doesn't follow you on Twitter? What's up with that?
Yeah.
It doesn't follow me on Twitter?
Yeah, I think that's wrong.
Is that true?
That can't be true. Matt, is that true?
Matt?
What are you talking about? It's right here. See, we're following him. What are you talking about?
Really? Was that when you were showing the...
That's because it was his own Twitter.
Okay.
The Pylon show was...
Aha!
All right.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
You tried to get him and you couldn't. Okay.
Somebody mentioned this in chat, but a big shout out to Guri, who just got married. Happy congratulations.
She is getting married.
Well, proposed, whatever. The deed is done, so congratulations.
Yeah. Big shout out there.
Nerds everywhere are very sad and happy at the same time.
Again, a big thanks to our Pylon show staff. I think our graphics this week are just off the hook. Special shout out to Body Pop for doing a lot of work on that. Also, the Pylon show next week, we're going to do it 1 day earlier, same time. And that's because, as Rapid said, he and I are flying to Corrupted Cup. And we're going to go ahead and announce what that show is going to be. It's going to be a very special episode because Corrupted Cup is the biggest thing happening in the foreign scene for StarCraft 1 this year. So we already have all the guests out there. So we'll go ahead and show you guys. We're going to be doing a big preview episode, kind of like we previewed today, the GSL Super Tournament. We're going to preview the entirety of the Corrupted Cup. That's going to be the main focus of our next episode. And those guests are going to include Models, Nyokin, Jaeyun, and TY2, which is that's a sick lineup of many of the very best of North American StarCraft. Some very smart players. We got all the races represented there as well. So that is going to be an awesome episode. Definitely make sure to tune in and learn all about Corrupted Cup right before it happens, so you know what to expect. All right, so that is it for this week. Thank you guys again for coming, and thanks everyone for checking out the show. We'll see you next week. Again, 1 day earlier than normal.
And watch Super Tournament.
That too. Super Tournament tonight.
Watch me win Blizzcon.
And watch In Depth.
Who owes who milk teas?
Oh, wait, that's going to be a third. Never mind, sorry.
What are our milk tea bets?
Cannon Rush. I won my fucking milk tea, man.
Yeah,
You
Cannon
say
Rush is the milk tea.
if a Cannon Rush works once in a tournament, you owe everyone a milk.
Yeah.
Okay.
But also, okay. All right. Bye for real.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.